Why is it? Why did my camera fuck up? What the hell? Seems to be some issues with my shit holding my. There we go. I don't know why, but it's fucking up that. There we go. Why is it a scary sight? Nothing abnormal here. I just figured I would chill. I'm about to eat my lunch and we're gonna watch the World Series of Warzone.
But only the top 120 competitors made the cut and will be dropping into Uzbekistan. Get ready to witness all the mayhem, the carnage, the whoopsie daisy, and the unforgettable clutch-ups. Who will step up and claim
Yeah, I was very white. Yeah, I don't know why the camera keeps doing that.
Who will be immortalized on the championship trophy and take home the biggest chunk of the $1 million prize pool? You know what? Enough talk. It's time to break necks and cash checks. It's the
Right. Bing.
World Series of Warzone Global Final. And welcome everyone to the 2024 World Series of Warzone Global Finals at the Orleans Arena in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. It's been a long year, but we return to hallowed grounds to crown our second ever World Series of Warzone Global Champion. This year brings talks of a dynasty, life-changing money, and an opportunity to cement the names of the competitors in Warzone history. This is the biggest stage of Warzone, and all the competitors who are here understand that. And they want to earn the money and also lift the trophy. I'm your host, Taylor Reflections.
Test.
Wonderful crew of Dream Crazy, Enigma, and Danjo. We are back. Last year, Dream, we were in London. This year, we're in good old North America.
I mean, I don't know, Pine.
How you feeling?
Feeling fantastic. I know the energy in here is exciting. You guys, this is the year 4 of the World Series of Warzone, the second year on global land. I myself am just so excited to be here.
That's very delayed.
To be here, and I cannot wait to see these players go because you guys know there's one team.
Right now I am eating some homemade chicken and dumplings.
Spoilers, but you probably all know.
Chicken and dumplings.
Enigma, it's great to see you. We're not on your home turf this time, so you're the only Brit on the desk. You're gonna have to stand up for yourself, but it's good to see you, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Obviously, I lose that home field advantage, but it is wonderful, of course, to be here. An honor. It was a wonderful thing to do last year.
Good Lord.
This year, it feels like the community in the whole space has grown. I'm very lucky to be a part of that, and to, of course, be alongside some of my best friends here on the desk. This is going to be a hell of an event.
Without a doubt, and Danjo, we're now best friends. That's great to hear. And if you didn't know, we now know now. It's great to see you, man. How you feeling?
I feel like I just leveled up. Enigma has said something nice about me for the first time in his life.
Whoa.
It's fantastic to be here on land, man. It has been 8 months of just
No, man.
building and
Yo, Dale.
being able to get here.
But no.
and it all
I'm just,
every day. What team is the best? Not just
I got some downtime right now, so that's why I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch the World Series of Warzone. So I figured I would just stream and do a watch party at the same time. I was like, fuck it, why not?
Finals, but this is going to be a 2-day global finals, which is great, and we're doing things bigger and better than ever. This year for 2024, we're introducing $1 million guaranteed prize
Turn it up just a little bit.
First place walking away with $300,000. Second place, there's a big drop off, $160K. Enigma, there's a real reason to go for first.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, we are all trying to earmark that team that might win it, but don't write that check just yet. We've got a lot of storylines to tell this weekend, but $300,000 for first place?
That's right.
That is not bad. I mean, I remember my mom once telling me that you'd never make money from video games. How wrong is she? Look at that. It's beautiful stuff to be playing for here in Vegas.
Without a doubt. Now notice, top 20 gets paid. There's 40 teams out there on that stage. So if you do not make it top 20, that plane ride is going to be a bit empty-handed, all right? Those waters are going to be even more expensive than they would be if you at least earned 2K. Let's talk about, though, the road to get here because it was grueling. We had thousands of competitors try to make it to the global finals. Now, for some, they only had to go through 3 stages of qualifiers because they got the job done early. For some, well, it took a little bit longer. It took 6 total stages. Regardless how you got here, you're here. That's the important part. Now, you've got 2 days to
Well, you
make
gotta
some
remember,
magic.
Pime.
Have happen.
That's
well,
2K
matches will be made on that very
for the
stage.
entire team. It's a team of 3.
40 great teams.
So I mean, that's a few.
Talked
That's
about it. 2
less
days
than
before
$1,000
we
bucks.
have
So I mean,
it.
it's money
This,
still,
well,
yes,
this
but
year's a little bit different. Dandro, you
I
wanna
mean,
walk
you think
everybody
about it
through
this way.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think they
So
are
not only
flown
do
out
we
there
have
and
2
all
days of
expenses are paid.
competition this
I
year
think.
as opposed to one
So
last
I mean,
year, but it is a
that's
brand
worth the
new
plane
format
ticket at
that
least.
I love. Today here, we are going to be having 6 drops with all of our trios dropping on in. The top team and some others will be making on to Sunday and have an advantage point given to them, right? But Sunday is aware.
Yeah,
the
so like
magic
first place is
happens.
300K.
For the
That's
first
split
time
between
on
3
land, we
people.
have Call of Duty
So
Warzone
100K each.
match point.
That's
We're
right.
going to be looking for the first team to hit 150 points total and take home
The
a
upside
match
to
point.
this versus
Whichever
like
team is able
CDL
to do that will be taking
is that
home
these are all
top spot
streamers.
in our tournament.
You notice
They're
these
not
drops
part of
go
like an
through 6.
organization
That's
like
gonna be for the
Optic or
race
FaZe or
going
anything
into
like that.
tomorrow, and then
In
we also
CDL, when they
have
win the
number
like the
7,
CDL
120
championships,
solos. There's no teams here.
they have to.
Everybody's
Some of that money
walking
goes
up.
to the
It's
organization.
solo
It doesn't
back
all
in
go to the
that
players.
for
So this, I
$50,000.
think all the money
So,
goes to the
one
players. I don't think it
person
goes
walking
towards
away
anything
with,
else.
Nearly as much, I believe, as like 5th or 6th place. So think about that. That's pretty special. But regardless, Solo Yellow always exciting. Last year, Skullface. This year, well, we're gonna have to see who it is. Max Point, though, exciting.
I forgot
to say the
Skullface won
least.
last
The
year.
team's looking to close it out. Who will be the one to close it out? That's the question they're gonna.
I think the
have
year
to
before
answer.
that was FIFA.
But Las Vegas, if you're ready, let's start bringing in the competitors because they're ready to get on that stage. They're ready to start playing in. Well, drop number 1 is just around the corner. As the competitors start to come in, you're going to notice some familiar faces. And Dandro, who are we looking at?
Well, guess what? Here comes
So these guys are part of an organization, so they may have a cut go towards their org if they win.
It is going to be Team Falcons. I saw Soka's family here. They're sitting front row. They're looking to get loud. They are so excited to watch this team play here today.
I wonder who's all on the main
land.
stage.
All eyes on them to be able to try and come on out. You hear the crowd around you. They are erupting.
Oh, that's
Biffle,
DS Biffle.
Soka and Shifty. They are here to play.
They are the most confident squad without question. Every day that I see them
Yeah,
in
they won
the
last year, I think.
competition, they are unwavering in their faith to get a championship. This year, though, Hisoka joins that roster, and Enigma, he's considered the closer. He's considered the IGL. He's been so valuable. He watched last year their trophy be lifted. Right now, he wants to lift that trophy for himself. Second place isn't good enough. He's going for gold.
Well, the thing is as well, once you add into that roster, in my opinion, he's the best player on it. He comes in,
Yummy.
he has such a great brain for this game. Even some of the other best teams that are going to be up on this stage, look at the kind of calls that he makes, the kind of plays he wants to make happen, things that a score sheet is never going to tell you, and they think, oh my god, I couldn't have thought of that myself.
That's right. Here we go. In walks another team. Super Evan right there. He's ready to go. Long-term Warzone competitor. He was at one point talking about retiring, but clearly he didn't. And for good reason, because he made it to the main stage. I can't wait to see what he's going to be bringing to the table. But all the other rosters walking in, I know there's a special one, Enigma, that we need to cover.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to talk about Team Louis CM, Wars, and Bobble. This is the UK trio. Wars is a man that is never far away from the competition at the very top. The best player on the side last year for the best placing EMEA squad on your screen right now. Their team in particular, I think that they've got everything that it takes to contest truly this weekend. They're a squad that play very closely in team fights. All 3 get on the same wavelength. The one where it is, they're a bit of an emotional team. If they start slow, it's a long weekend. However, if they start going big, these will be the guys to watch throughout Vegas.
Emotional team, that's polarizing, right? When they're on top, they're feeling good, they're flying and frying. But when they're playing bad, they run into trouble, and it's hard to dig yourself out of that hole. So emotional teams are great, but also not so great when everything is going bad, Dandro.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got to keep your level head here today if you want to try and make some waves.
All right. More
I don't think
competitors
every one of these guys
through.
are on
We
the
got
main
some Latin
stage.
American
Everybody that's in the
representation
tournament.
coming out, baby. You love to see that Latin American
Because
I know you guys are prideful.
I
You
know
guys bring the heat
Joe and
out
them
in
are
the
all
chat
live
box,
right
so
now.
in the arena, and well, this team is looking to surprise everyone, and I guarantee you they're going to be able to do just that. Of course, other rosters walking in. We notice
Joe's.
our other Team Falcons roster coming through. Zix, Hamoud joining in the mix, and hey, I am so pumped up to see them. The only team to really
Let's see here.
challenge
I'll
that
link a
of
new
the
tab.
Falcons roster at the Esports World
Yeah, see,
Cup.
Joe's already
Doing
sitting at
so
his
in
desk.
spades. They're
I don't
gonna
know
be
if
bringing it
he
without question. Who
is
else
on
are
the
we
main
watching out
stage.
for, Dandro?
I mean, there's a couple of teams you can see right there. A couple of the EU boys,
That's it.
King
Maybe he
AJ
is.
and Vision. I love to see them here today. But we have another team we got to talk about. Cloud Little Mario and, of course, their third pride. I love that they are here today. I love this. Clown was top fragger of the LCQ. This guy was shooting straight nukes. And Lil Mario, he's just been on the come up. I remember seeing him in Hector's chat. Begging to play in Scrim. Literally begging to be here. And look where he is now, global finals.
You think you'll have to beg anymore?
No,
absolutely not. Right, he's on the global stage, the biggest stage out there. I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to do, man. Really. Destroy, by the way, a great figure in the Warzone scene. I love his brother too, Stable Ronaldo. He actually had a chance to play over there whenever it came to Esports World Cup. Maybe messed it up. That's okay. We roll with it, baby. Destroy is a talented player, and I love watching him compete. Now, another set of competitors are walking out to the stage, and, well, you know, they are ready to go. And some special sequences, or excuse me, one of these teams, Enigma, had a chance to make it through, and they did so in the very final chance throughout the qualifiers.
Yeah, absolutely. Team Rocket. So this is Rocket, Klapar, and Zaka. Rocket and Zaka actually played in London last year. They're two Polish boys. They were playing alongside Morpheus. They bring in Klapar to give them
I feel like these guys are all going to be the guys who qualified in-game. But the guys who qualified other ways are already streaming, like Joe and Huskers and whoever else.
Also made it to LAN last year.
Aiden,
Right now, ladies and
FIFA.
gentlemen, they were the people that managed to get through to London last year. Video LCQ, done it again this year. That LAN experience is going to be what they need, because they're not going to try and butter this up. They've got the worst average performance in terms of kills throughout the MEA, second worst when it comes to placing, but they're a strong VOD review team. So if they can make the adjustments here on LAN, use that experience of last year, I think they can step up and be a part of the conversation.
And last year's a good hopping off point. I remember Team Rocket making it to the global stage. I announced it to the London arena there, and they went nuts. And I said, okay, we got something here with Team Rocket. And they didn't disappoint. They played decently well, and I expect them to do so here. They're a staple as far as I'm concerned when it comes to global finals. Even though they've got some bad stats, Enigma, I think they're going to be doing just fine. It's a fresh start, after all. The qualifiers, well, they matter in terms of stats, but it doesn't matter as much as the next 2 days they come along, and more teams are starting
see, Huskers looks like he's in a different location.
Take the stage.
He's not in the same location. This is a different location.
Walking right there, Pentagon Velvet and Cousin entering it. The Germans coming on through.
Our boys.
I love them. The boys, they are flying on out.
And let's talk about, we can't forget about the North American wildcard winners, Colony, Nick Cool, and Waldo, which amazing. They did place 17th in the last chance qualifiers, but they were able to secure a win. Nick Cool, one of the mouse and keyboard players too.
Bro, Pine, I mean, it's anybody's game. Last year, I know Huskers, his team has won 1 year. Last year it was Diaz, Biffle, and Hisoka, and Shifty. I don't remember who won the year before that.
Top 3 at least. So this team, I really like them because they're just one of those squads that they vibe, they jive, but they really have showed a lot of improvements.
That's right. They may be a wild card team, but make no mistake, they're a team that can make an impact. Each and every 40 players can. And we got Repulse coming out to the stage, carrying that
Fucking Repulse.
trophy, and it looks absolutely sick this year. He's getting everybody pumped up. He's looking to take our jobs, and honestly, I'm kind of okay with that.
I mean, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I'm okay with that, but yo, I love, we got Hector in the building.
That's right.
The Pulse check is here. Make sure you check out their watch party. And honestly, I gotta give the guys some props. Competitive Warzone would not be where it is today without the work of
I don't have a favorite. Like, I like Jowo a lot. I like Huskers. I like FIFA kinda. I don't have like a favorite streamer. Like, Repulse is he's a streamer. I think he usually does COD, but I don't know exactly. But otherwise, I don't really have a favorite. I just like to watch and see how the teams do. Because I've played against some top players before, and it's fucking insane. Like, they're next level, honestly.
We don't want to fight however many people is watching. I know you're a big guy, but you're not that big, okay? Hey, don't get mad at me, dude. Hey, check it out. It's going to be a great day. I'm excited not only to be here in Vegas, which each
yeah, so these guys are all sitting in a different location because they have a blue logo behind them and a wall. These guys have a purple logo behind them, so I don't know where these guys are at. These guys are probably in a different auditorium or something.
Combined a couple of different regions.
Hey, Lucky, what's up, man?
Yeah, we didn't.
Yes, sir. I did a stream last night too. We chilled for a while. I set up some more stuff for the stream, and
Africa.
And then we played a few games.
Sit here and talk about 3 different players that are representing the Middle East. A Lebanese player in Showstopper, and then 2 in Khulud and Karim's.
Yes.
Sorry, not Karim's, Zix.
Right.
And then you come in with the new players walking in here, the Men of Falcons, of course, that roster. However, the big thing, of course, is that we suffered a massive roster mania over on this side of the pond with only 1 returning.
How are you doing, Lucky? Good to see you, man.
That is going to be that of Boogs, Stukex, and Benzi, and they weren't even together until we got to the Esports World Cup. They used Benzi as a coach. We were currently playing with Liam, and then made that change after that to find some increased chemistry for LCQ. So we nearly came in with a whole brand new slate here.
Yeah, today we're just chilling. I had some free time, so I figured I would stream and just chill and watch the World Series of Warzone.
I think about the other competitors having to work extra hard to get where they are. And
I like watching the tournaments sometimes. Like I just enjoy watching the tournaments. I am not good enough to be in these tournaments, so say fuck it. I live vicariously through the other players.
Names to watch out for. Of course, I've got to be watching out for our boys.
I don't know if Zealand or them are even in this tournament this year. I know Showstopper. I know Showstopper on that list. I played some games with him a long time ago on Verdansk. He's where is he from? Lebanese? I think he's from Lebanon. So that's cool. He made it. He's a good player. Hell yeah, Lucky. Same here, man. I'm just chilling. At some point, I'm gonna reset up my stream deck because I still haven't done that. I need to.
Kind of unlucky, really. They had circumstances go against them. However, they come in this year, they fix things up, and they've managed to get themselves here on Vegas. And they're a highly adaptable trio, very strong about their VOD review, very much so. You know, they assessed about what went wrong early on in this year, changed their playstyle, multiple landing spots practice. This is plans ahead of several other teams, and therefore are deservingly making it here after finishing 8th in finals.
Absolutely. And Danjo, are there any other rosters from EMEA that we have to be watching out for?
Yeah, I think we got to talk about Robstar, Vortex, and Blade, right? You got Robstar from EU, Vortex from Italy, Blade from Italy, all representing Reply Totem here at the Global Finals. You got Vortex and Blade, 2022 World Series of Warzone winners. And I'm excited for this team for really just not, I could reel off stats and stuff. It's just the timeline's been on fire lately between this team and one of our teams from Latin America. We're going to see some contests off drop, and they've been check marking each other. Who's won? It's a flurry of blows between 2 fantastic teams. I think that they are going to be really, really exciting to watch. And just besides all of that hype, they're just a fun, very solid team. They know when to take fights. They know when to rotate out. And they're going to be able to, I think, cause a lot of chaos. Because remember, folks, we're here on land, baby.
That's right.
No ping diff today. Everybody's going to be shooting.
First place during LCQ. They tore it up. They had their struggles, but they cleaned it up when it mattered most to make it to this very stage. Let's get out of 13. Who else are we looking out for?
I think one of the squads that I really want to look at is going to be this Prodigy, Oki, and Echo team. And this is a squad that I think have incredible consistency. Their placings are insane, especially when you talk about finals. Their average placing was 7.8 on the finals. However, that squad on your screen is going to be my favorites when it comes to the EMEA rosters. This is V8, and that's going to be AJ, Showstopper, and Vision. And for me, this team
Showstopper, yeah, I've played with Showstopper before. He's a really good player.
Superstars. They put out huge kill output, and then
he's from Lebanon,
which is the glue to ground them. The one thing I will say, sometimes their high pace of play is a bit risky. It can affect them when it comes to their placements, but if they can avoid that, and I do think things will be a little bit slower here on LAN, I think that they can contest the Falcons and truly bring something home for our region.
Well, let's now talk about the elephant in the room, a trio that came together that looks so strong on paper, but struggled to even make it to this stage. Dream, of course, we're talking about FIFA Kill and Co.
Yeah,
oh
right?
shit.
And I gave them that shout,
FIFA Kill had issues.
Hopefully they can
Lennon and
come
Jukies and
take it
FIFA. Okay, so they're all EU. They're all Europe.
They did place 10th last year in that global final. They come in, they pick up FIFA Kill, and if you guys remember, FIFA Kill Online did take the European solo YOLO. So you have 2 players really strong. There's no way that they're qualifying. So they played through LCQs. They did make it here. Can breathe. So you have all 3 players returning to land, but such powerhouses with these guys. I'm looking at Lennon. He's really
FIFA is funny because he says a lot of out-of-pocket shit. That's what kind of makes him fun to watch, because he's just funny sometimes. But sometimes it gets on my nerves. Look at him. Look at that pink hair. Man is wild.
There's going to be locking it down. You got to have Len in the mix. Look at him, Black Team.
He's got that pink hair, too. We were talking about that a couple weeks ago.
Fucking pink hair kills me.
Sure it works, man. I mean, you're FIFA after all, dude. Now, he's ready to go. I love it. Actually, the gun skin matches his hair. He's got a little bit of a vibe there.
Yeah, I mean, we're absolutely not going to miss him up there, right? A lot of heads, and we are going to know where that team is sat all weekend. The one thing I will say about this team, Juki's FIFA landing, yes, it's not been great. 19th in the upper bracket, and failed to get through. Had to scrape LCQs with that last game. Really tough to see. What I think is there's two things here that can redeem them. One, there's no pressure. Basically, pretty much everyone's talking about how they are going to basically be a team that gets run over, and I think this suits them for once. They can kind of just do their thing. But also, I've been talking about this a lot this year. They have not had a plan all year, and they finally do. I have talked to them this weekend. They say they finally have a plan, so let's see it in action.
Well, you talk to them, and I think it's time for everybody to hear from them. We've got Gio on stage with an interview with Juki's. Let's hear what Juki's has to say.
Juki's, your team must be one of the most storied and most popular teams here today in Vegas. You had a hard time, there you go. You had a hard time getting here. How does it feel to be in front of this whole crowd and finally having earned your place?
I feel proud for the starters to represent the
This
UK,
guy
of
has the
course, with
thickest
the lads,
English accent I've
FIFA
ever
and
heard.
that.
Like, I've heard a lot of people
yeah,
talk before.
We had a rough
This
patch,
fool's
so
accent
we've
is
been going
insane.
for like a rough stage, but we're on land now. We're playing for the mill, so I know the boys are gonna pop off.
So tell me a little bit about that, because, you know, obviously, as you say, there are a couple rough patches. When we went
Can't tell if she's British also, or if she's Australian. That might be Australian.
How are things going for the LAN?
Australian and British accent sound very similar. It's hard to tell for me.
I know us as players, individuals, we've been learning from each scrim. So, like, even though, like I said, like if it's going bad, we're still moving forward. So I feel like we're going to take all the
Juki's looks different from the last time I saw him. It's been a while since I've seen him.
Now, last year, every member of your team came either 10th or 11th overall at the grand finals. What are you going to do to ensure that
Why
you
is this
make
girl
it
wearing like an
to
evil
number one?
villain's like sidekick
land on
outfit?
SSD, I think.
Literally what she looks like she's wearing.
Before we send it back up to the desk, do you have any last messages out for all your fans in the crowd?
You know, thank you for coming, of course, supporting not just me, everyone on the stage, and hopefully we put on a show for you.
All right, sounds like it's going to be a good one. Desk, back
Wholesome.
to you guys.
I like that
Well,
response.
there you guys have it, the interview with Juki's. And you know what? I had to point out something. You guys know with this team, you remember how far behind they were last year in standings?
I do.
And you remember that one pop-off game, of course, that was map number 5 that they had. Even being down in those moments, you can always count on them to come up in that clutch factor. And you even mentioned, Dandro, they don't even have a landing zone.
I mean,
They
they'll
have
figure it
plans.
out. I hope they figure it out, man. This is the time to do it. Listen, that's my trio, all right? I've been supporting them since the beginning. They're going to do just fine. I believe in them anyways. I don't know if it's blind hope, but it's hope nonetheless. Let's talk about our final EU team to cover on the desk. Enigma, who else do we have?
Well, we would be amiss to not talk about Omit EU, and this is going to be the Frenchman of Heeds, Gromelok, and
Multitask
NQO.
here
I think
in a
that
minute,
this
for a
team
minute.
is one to really look at. If you're hoping to see an EMEA team
Matrix.
take this home, they have the best average placing of any squad, the second best amount of kills, and for me, a lot of eyes are going to be on NQO, of course, but I think that they should be on Gromelok, because he is a phenomenal player. IGL's the team. He's only 11 kills behind NQO throughout the whole World Series, and for me, he's an absolute Rolls-Royce of a player, a massive gem. Of course, their placement consistency has struggled throughout the back half of this year, but again, I think that that's a case of like things will slow down on LAN, and that will only benefit them. For me, they've just got to go and do out the same things that they were doing earlier in the year. Let NQO play that slaying power out, let Gromelok lead the line, and let Heeds play your support player. I think they stick to their fundamentals well. They will challenge. They will be a huge part of the prize money conversation.
Well, the fact that Ezekiel's first LAN is going to speak volumes about what we're going to see from him this week. And some people can handle that pressure and be just fine, and maybe he's one of them. And I hope it definitely will be. Plus, Omit, let's just call it for what it is. One of the oldest organizations when it comes to Warzone competitive. They're legendary status as far as I'm concerned. So, Dandro, even with that, that's a lot of pressure to take, but you think they got it?
You know what? Listen, I hate hyping up EU teams because it makes me smile, but I love that they are here. NKO was one of those first European players that Omit did pick up, and we got to remember, Omit means to not be left out, right? To not be remiss, and I do not think that they will be remiss from this leaderboard. I think they've been playing really, really well. They're going to be on LAN, and just canonically, I watched Heeds literally go back-to-back 1v3ing two different teams, SSD and Unrational Squad, like not too long long ago, and that was where I was like, okay, wait, this team's actually kind of gross. Okay, maybe we need to actually worry about them better here.
That's loud as
And
fuck.
one quick point too about Enkyo, like last year he didn't make it. I think he just turned 18. The potential that I see in him could be potentially like the next Biffle. Biffle steps down, Enkyo steps up. So
Oh, that's
just a
what
quick
it is.
point. He is a Friar. This is his first time on land, but I think he's gonna have that. Hopefully, not get nervous, have that motivation on his side.
Well, let's talk about another region. That's EU. Now let's move forward for our global finalists. Excuse me, APAC and Latin America.
I'm just chilling, Daryl. We're watching. I'm watching the World Series of Warzone.
How loud they got when they saw the Latin American flag come out. They are looking to go all the way. Let's take a look at the list of teams who will be competing, and so many great names. And for you, Enigma, let's talk about one of them.
Yeah, and that has to be CT Black there in the middle of your screens. Resolve, Panda, Volcom, they come top in the LATAM North qualifiers, and that is a very difficult region to get out of, ladies and gentlemen, with a very difficult format. You get one chance. You nearly see Deus Amir not make it. It is that.
What are you up to, Daryl?
So they come out on top there, blow that competition away. Very impressive, but I want to point straight to that man in the middle, and that is Panda, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
My first ever LAN that I cast was in Amsterdam. It was a smaller event.
No, you're okay.
From
No,
Mexico.
no worries, Daryl. I'm just home. I'm chilling.
Prize money, but he wanted to prove that he could deliver on LAN, and he wins the whole tournament. So
See you later, fucker.
The squad.
Passion is what drives esports, right? So the fact that he had that passion,
I'm looking for a sound
to
to
go out
use
there and invest more than he would earn.
subscriptions.
Hey, speaks volumes about what kind of competitor that he is. From CT Black, let's go to CT Red. Amir, Zdark, and Castillo. When I think of Amir, I just think of, first off, a wonderful human being. He's an incredible human
Standing
being.
around.
He's got a massive fan base. He represents
Slow day.
Latin American well. Every time
I feel like Saturdays are
we
probably
come to an
busier
event,
days
Amir
because you're
is
still
there.
at the
He's
parts
always
store,
coming
right?
up, giving us a hug. He's always got a big smile, and he's just such a jovial person. But he's a fierce competitor. Make no mistake about it. That trio, I expect to go very, very far. So whether it's CT Red or CT Black, I think both of those teams are looking phenomenal. And I believe we've got an interview on stage very shortly with one of those very players. But for APAC and Latin America, let us know, Chad, who are you supporting from that very region? If you support that region, hey, get loud, not only in the stadium, but also in the chat, because they're going to need your energy all 2 days long. Hey, but let's go ahead and kick it over to the stage. We got Miles joining us, right? And he's got Amir. Let's hear what Amir has to say.
Thank you very, very much, Reflections. I am joined by Amir. The crowd is lovely, man. I mean, it's been so exciting to have you here. How are you doing, man? How you feeling?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited. This is my second year here.
Hasn't made a change. Why is that? I mean, we hear about roster moves
Somewhat
all the time.
busy. Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day,
I just figured part stores are probably busier on the
competition is
weekdays.
my,
Because
priority.
people probably are
Before I
doing
go
like
anywhere.
projects on the
So,
weekends
if I
when
can
they're not at work or
it has
something.
to be with someone that I love, with a good friend, and best friends.
No.
I love them.
I love that so much. That's absolutely beautiful. Give it up for Bromance. Oh, yeah! Obviously, there's a very loud and very, happy, system of fans here for you. What does it mean to represent them?
You know,
Nah.
when I was very young,
I like to keep it simple. I'll just do the
grow
snake
up
enemy alert.
watching, like my heroes, like scumping them, and for me to be like
We have your
that
spurts.
represents
Yeah,
my
it makes sense.
country and my region, and they see me me being like their
Save settings.
representant. I'm really fucking proud.
Copy.
Congratulations. Beautiful. Have you got anything you want to say?
I need to add my alerts because I still haven't done that. Browser alerts. Okay.
We need more spots to our region. We
V.
have a crazy fan base. We have
Okay.
crazy talent. Don't overlook us. We are good. All right. Thank you. Vamos!
I need to test this.
Back to you on the desk.
Vamos! I love it. That's Amir playing over there with CT Red, Zdark, and Castillo. Again, Amir, just a great guy. You hear the passion in his voice. Yes, he may be a content creator, but he's also a competitor. Do not underestimate what this
That's it.
trio can do for their region. And, well, their region means a lot to them, and they get loud. That's one thing I love about Latin America. They get loud. But now, we are.
I feel like I need to do it like right in the middle.
Vegas. Now it's time to get loud. Let's cover some North American teams. The best region, as far as I'm concerned, in the world. And we've got the guy to do it. Dandron, the end.
Yeah, that's
Talk to me
fine.
about the grueling race through the North American qualifiers.
Maybe a little bit bigger
Well,
though.
definitely no bias on this desk for why NA is the best, nor in
There
the
you go.
arena. if
I'll
I have
do it
to
right
guess
there. Let's see what
either.
else.
But
What
North
other
America,
things
it was
look
a
like.
cruiler. After World
Just
Series
doing your
of
training
Warzone last
videos.
year,
Is there a lot
was
that you have to do for those, Daryl?
WrestleMania. We heard rumblings of super team after super team getting formed and coming together. Some of them found a lot of success. Some of them missed the mark. I gotta unfortunately talk about it. Skullface, Almond, and Noobs. They were seen as the team to beat very early on in this season. Do not qualify through that LCQ. A heartbreak to happen.
Oh, ouch.
For every giant that falls, that leaves room for somebody else to make their way on in. We had a couple underdog teams be able to prove that they have what it takes to make it to this stage. I'm looking at teams like Team Valor, Tapulator, Strixie, and Johnny Bro. Tap's been very vocal on the timeline that he has what it takes to come online and put it to some of these top dogs. He's going to be playing with aggression. I also got to talk about a team like FaZe.
What all kind of videos do you have to do, or training videos do you have to do, Daryl? Like, what does it entail? Like using the computer system, looking up parts, or what? All right, so we got Jovo there, Smith, Aiden, DJ, DS Biffle, Ahsoka Shifty, Jackal, Huskers, Brolic. See, the teams that I'm looking at are Biffle's team, Aiden's team, Jovo, Breadman, and Foreign Jace. Swag, I don't really expect much from Swag. And this team collectively got better throughout time, but they pick up T. That's about it, really. Those are the only teams that I really watch, or that I would watch for. Unrational and Scummin are pretty good too.
And she was looking cool, calm, and collective when we saw her yesterday. She's ready to play. Cannot wait to see what she's able to do on that very stage. Also, shout out to Aiden, DJ Moss, and Z Smith. They were incredible throughout the qualifiers. This is a test message. Is just not only a wonderful person, but also a great competitor. Okay. He's been competing now for the longest time. His roots are from Call of Duty. He's playing.
Damn, that lasts a long time.
Over to Warzone.
Why am I in Spanish?
Continues to dominate. I cannot wait to see what he can do out there. And then also, I'd be remiss if I did not bring up Huskers, Brolic, and Jackal. Huskers won the 2021 trios and duos, right, for the World Series of Warzone. Since then, it's been relatively quiet, but he's looking to be on that revenge tour. We had a chance to interview him throughout the qualification stages, and he said, this is my revenge tour, my redemption arc. I believe in him, and I know he believes in himself. Now, for the next 2 days, he's going to really have to believe and dig deep if he wants to become the champion. But if there's anybody that can do it, it's Huskers and his roster. But there's another trio that we need to talk about. Dream, who do we got?
Of course, it's the other end of the right COD, the Team COD community that had Unrational and Scummin on it, which we know of some of that last year, that team drama that happened. Scummin and Unrational were not able to make it to the global LAN, which is crazy, right? But this year they're here, and now they in fact do have Dongi in the mix.
That's
which,
right.
If you guys remember, Dongi played with Nofo and Vombot last year, I believe, placed 22nd. So they have a player that at least has LAN experience, and Dongi, of course, has been really tearing it up this year. He has really been improving as a player.
Oh, you're good. I was asking, what kind of videos do you have to do? Is it like just how to look up parts or what?
Yeah, we're really excited to see them as a trio. You gotta be.
Or just how to use computer systems?
The trash talk.
I did.
He's apparently one to kill on the map.
Well, hey, now it's time to talk about the big dogs in the room. Let's talk about Team Falcons. You might know them as SSD as well. It's their tournament to lose, Dandro.
I mean, listen, you said big dogs, and they got some big dogs on the team. That is for sure. You got Shifty, Biffle, and Hisoka. What makes this team so dominant is just some of these stats, right? They won 30 out of their last 34 tournaments. That is an insane stat. What scares me more, though, hey, we have match point for the first time here on LAN. This team, once they hit that match point, they have a 50% win rate going on, and to be able to close out the tournament.
How to do everything in the store. Gotcha.
The roles of these players, right? You have that entry.
I'm assuming it's required, or is it just do it kind of at your own time?
Get into the mix and find that two-piece that they need. But he's only able to do that because they have the support player in Biffle backing him up. He said it time and time again. He goes, I know whatever fight I get in, I got Biffle on my back. And it helps when you got the closer himself, Mr. Hisoka, on your back. He's calling the rotations. He's helping them get to those spots they need to get to. And a lot of the times, he's their top fragger on there. So you love seeing your IGL being able to pick up alongside even your Slayers.
I can't even think of the last time they lost a tournament, to be honest with you. I mean, they've been absolutely
required. You have to do them by a certain amount of time, because there was stuff that I had to do for my job, but it has to be done like by a certain time. But I'm an overachiever, so I did all my stuff pretty quickly.
A trio that is just absolutely blowing everything else away. However, what I will say, they're under immense pressure. The Dynasty claim. The Falcons must must fly. They do not win this event. It's great what you did at the Esports World Cup. It's wonderful what you've done through the rest of the year.
That was way longer than 4 seconds.
Test message is over, quite frankly.
That is way longer than 4 seconds.
It can be killed. We are starting to see chinks in the armor. There are close victories, slow starts as recently as
It says
Tuesday.
4 seconds. There is no way that is 4 seconds.
And even more so when, and I don't necessarily believe
Basically at your own
couple of
pace.
the
Oh,
squads
okay.
out there, ladies and gentlemen, believe that they are backpack merchants. We've seen C4's changed.
I'll
we've
leave
seen
that there.
Monster's changed. So all of a sudden, a couple of these squads think that the Falcons can be caught.
You mentioned
I don't
the Chiefs and
have
the armor
members or
really
anything like
take a
that, so I'll
dive.
just
I
leave
look
that
at
alone.
Esports World Cup. Now, the group stage is totally different. They said they were going to win by over 100 points.
I'll
They did
do
exactly
tip.
that. However, when we went into the final day, they had a little bit of a tussle with the muscle with Fnatic, and they nearly lost that. It came down to the final game. It was so very close. So that comes to show me, even though Fnatic's not here, I know, and I wish they were. Regardless, teams can challenge them, and if they do, they might be able to take down the big titans of Falcons. Now, will they be able to do so? Again, it's up to the competitors, but regardless, they did show some chinks in the armor. Now, Dream, there's a lot of teams to be watching out for. I've got to ask you, what's the Dream team to take it all?
Well, we've been sitting here highlighting teams, talking about a bunch of teams, and this is a segment, yes, where we do pick a team we think that's going to take it all. If you guys think that I'm not going to pick SSD, Team Falcons, you are crazy. We are going to do it, and that man, okay, we've mentioned it. You know what? Soka, gotta say it, Big Soak, all right, he's an IGL player that can do it all. But keep in mind, for the last 3 years, Soka has been on top, okay? 2022, guess what? He was in second. Now, being in that last year, not able to take the global, here today, you would love to see Team Falcons do it. And unfortunately, it is speculation that we're hearing Biffle could be retiring, but all 3 players in Shifty, Biffle, and Soka have been dominating Warzone for the last pretty much 3-4 years, and also to pop off power. Can someone challenge them today? Let's find out, but I want to hear it. I know you guys want to hear the energy from them. I believe we have an interview with Team Falcons. Let's go ahead and hear what they have to say.
What's going on, guys? My name is Hector, aka Repulse, and today I will be interviewing Team Falcons. Boys, how are we feeling, man?
Feeling good.
Feeling ready, man. I'm excited.
Feeling great.
Talk to me, how did this team come together? How did this team form?
Yeah, we were looking for an IGL, and I played with this guy since Verdansk, so we just made the call, told him about the Falcons, and he joined pretty easily.
Okay. D, did you have any say in this, or was it all Shifty?
I mean, it is definitely a team decision, so we needed an IGL that could get us that end game and close, so we thought Soka was the best decision for that.
Makes me feel confident. My teammates believe in me. There's a lot of pressure, though, but, you know, pressure either makes people fold like paper, but from my point of view, it's pressure makes diamonds, baby. So let's shine.
Big man over here. Okay, I like that.
Feel me?
All right, so let's
Not really
get to
luck,
some
Daryl.
questions now, right? Who do you guys
What?
think is
My vape?
the most overrated team here?
Overrated.
Maybe
Overrated.
Huskers
in them?
Huskers?
Yeah, I mean, they had a really bad EWC performance. I gave them their flowers there, and then they just got dead last, so it's hard to put any stock into that team right now. I don't know if there's really any, like, highly rated teams right now.
Or maybe, I guess, where the community thinks is a really good player team, but in reality, their team is horrible.
Oh, no.
Like I said, players, specifically Breadman. Holy dude. That guy plays BR like it's like Blackout. Like there's no buybacks. Come on, dude.
Yeah, I guess I'll agree with that.
Who, in your guys' opinion, is the worst team here?
I'm gonna have to say probably Reload and the boys. I don't know about those guys, man. They just
Mine burn on yeah.
they're online.
I vaped on one that had said zero juice for like
Getting dead last.
I don't know, maybe like FIFA?
2 or 3 weeks,
Bro, I'm telling
and
you,
it still didn't taste super burnt. Like it was barely burnt, and so I had to finally get one.
Think you could
But I was trying to hold off until I got paid. That's why.
I'm off for go big or go home. Give me bread.
Bread?
Give me champ. Give me champ.
Oh, this is going on Twitter. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to switch the tables on you, right? Which CDL player do you think could come and join your roster and instant click with y'all?
Like replace one of us?
Yeah.
You can't. None of them.
None of them?
None of them.
Not a single CDL player could come and join you guys.
Give the best one. They're not touching us. Not even close. They could not replicate what these two can do, nor what I can do.
Well, that kind of concludes our interview today.
Yeah, you definitely need to
Great
stop at that
questions,
point
some
because
great
the
answers.
more you
I'm
vape
not
it
gonna
whenever
lie.
it's
I was shocked by a
empty
couple
and
of
like
them.
burning,
I'm curious to see
that
what
the burnt
what
smoke
happened
can
in
hurt
this
your
game.
lungs,
But appreciate you guys.
whereas
Yes,
the
man,
vape
and looking forward to
juice
seeing you guys
doesn't.
compete this weekend.
The burnt part, that's like, remember how people talk about popcorn lung with vaping? That is where it mainly comes from. Is if you burn the cotton or whatever too much, that will cause it. So definitely don't do it once it's burnt, dude.
Legacy, you think about that pressure, but they seem like they have none of it, you guys.
Well, you know, the thing is, there was a lot of shots fired, by the way, during that interview. Rest in peace, Fief, apparently, and Breadman. They went absolutely in, and it wouldn't be a Repulse interview or show.
Yeah, good.
Warzone versus CDL pros. I'm not going to open that can of worms, okay? I will not, because it just doesn't end the chat. You guys can get started if you want. You do what you want to do at all times. So one debate that I will start, though, is EU versus NA versus our global finalist. All right, so let's get it started. It's actually a fun debate, and I hope it gets a little bit spicy because we're not on your home turf. Enigma, let's start with you.
I appreciate you, gentlemen, as always. One of the reasons, of course, why I've got to talk about why the EMEA region looked better this year and can do better than we did in London is we have so much more depth than we did. I think last time we were looking at 1 or 2 rosters to maybe make things happen. This time we're talking about Omit EU, V8, Team Louis CM, Team Prodigy, so many different squads. That's before we start talking about the Middle Eastern representatives. I truly believe that we have several teams here that can put on in Vegas, make things happen. The second one is, I'm looking a little bit through the North American squads, and it's a bit embarrassing, ladies and gentlemen. The North America on top conversation, outside of the Falcons, you're nowhere. Your mid-table teams are going onto the timeline talking about how NA are on top. Show a little bit of pride.
That's
Play
crazy.
for more than just a participation trophy of talking about your region. Make things happen here online. You're a player, not a fan. They're running your pockets at the end of the day. Turn up in Vegas.
That's a spicy take, Dandro.
I mean, it is, but to quote one of my favorite players, Braxton, EU sucks, okay? NA on top, baby. They've been top of the leaderboard for a while. Listen, last year I got booed by 3,000 Europeans,
yes,
okay? Now I am here. Las Vegas is my home. I love this, and now we are on top. I love that a lot of our players, they are coming. Did people actually boo me?
Yeah, they did. It was few, but there was some out there.
Well, it's part of the aura now. It's okay. It's A-okay. But either way, the point is that NA has just been so dominant. I truly believe that. And let's just remember that we recently had a tournament where a lot of NA players came over onto that EU ping and still choke slammed you, my guy. So I don't know what you're talking about.
The thing is that I do believe that at the very top, NA are going to be, of course, very difficult to move when you talk about the Falcons. I do think that the average at the end of this tournament is going to be better in EMEA. But also, you talk about that whole ping thing. We did a tournament recently on European ping, and the European team came out on top. So we're on land now. That ping conversation's over, baby.
All right, Dream.
Yeah, and I'd have to say, I will take that side, because you guys know I like to mediate a little bit. You know, I have to look at both sides, but I'm gonna take Enigmas on this one.
Really?
Because you have to look at that Team Falcons MENA team, right? Crims isn't here, but they were here last year, okay? No experience, and now they've progressively gotten better. So for that region, for like some of the Middle Eastern regions that don't have the, you know, the ping, the practice, the experience, they're getting that, and for teams like that, they just keep getting better. So NA, yeah, okay, maybe dominant, but you've had all the cards in your favor, in our favor.
Well, that is true. I cannot believe, actually, it's a 2-1 on Dan.
Can I get some help?
I'm gonna help you out. We got the best team in the world. Represented the Falcons, and it's, of course, a North American team. I don't want to hear any arguments. We've been through that already. Falcons is the best, without question, although much love to the EU fans out there. Latin America, though, again, I love them. I really do. And the fact that you do have the MENA Falcons, and I like that they are representing the Falcons this time around. So you've got Falcons with SSD. You got MENA Falcons as well coming in with Zix and Hamoud. Zix and Hamoud are very talented players, and I hyped them up during the Esports World Cup. I'm going to hype them up here during the Global Finals. They now have LAN experience, and they're looking to go all the way. They're passionate people. They're passionate players. I know it means a lot for them to be on this very stage. So last year, I do remember us kind of being very North American, EU heavy, but let's not forget our global finalists made some big impacts, made some big waves, and had some great finishes. So you cannot count them out. Now, chat, let us know, who do you support, right? Is it EU? Is it NA? Is it the global finalists? What kind of side are you on? Amir did give a great argument for Latin America. That got me pumped up too, and the heart was going, but it's going to be a good time, whatever region that you do support. And Dandro, there's been a lot of changes going into Warzone Competitive, and actually Warzone Competitive might be new to maybe some of the viewers out there. Why don't you go ahead and give them your Dandro's Deep Dive?
Hey, well, thank you so much, Taylor. Of course, you might be tuning into competitive Warzone for the first time, so I thought it'd be great to just do a level set of what you're going to be seeing a lot of our competitors use here today. Maybe get an idea to drop your PR in those pubs. Let's kick it off with that AR. It is, of course, course, the Season 4 edition in the STG. This thing hits like a truck. It has fantastic controllable recoil, and it just allows players to really kind of lean into that 3-2-1 meta, right? You get a lot of team shots going, you're going to be deleting teams. I got a chance to interview Z Smith, and he said, I'm having a blast lately. I'm just shooting kids out of the sky. And a big reason of that is this STG that's here. Now, for every AR, you got to have something that backs it on up, and it's going to be an SMG. Let's take a quick look
The
at some of
STG is
guns
still
we've
number
seen
1.
throughout the World Series of Warzone, because I think it starts to paint a picture here. We had some fun with the SVA. We had that Car 98 come in for a little hot sec when it was in that one-shot meta, and then we had the Holger 26. Okay, that was a little bit better, but we had that Superi. The Superi reigned supreme through a lot of those finals that we saw between North America and EMEA. Over 15,000 eliminations that were there. And what that tells me, having a good SMG in your back pocket, that is so important when you're trying to run through these buildings, when you're trying to play in those end zones. And well, we have one. It is the static HV that is here. This thing lets you be a little slippery toad on the map. It's hard to grab you, it's hard to find you. But the thing that I love about it is that you just have a default 50 rounds in the back pocket, okay? You don't have to invest this magazine attachment slot to be able to have that high magazine capacity. It's going to allow you to take multiple gunfights right after another, and that's really important when we get into these end game scenarios. So you're going to see a lot of players really using this to its full extent. We had also kind of talked a little bit earlier about some other changes that we had. If you tuned into any of the past, kind of parts of the World Series of Warzone, it's been C4 Smoke Zone, as the community has so much called it. But guess what? C4s are out. Thermites are in. People are using those to really block paths and have some great fun with it. We've had some touch-ups to the bunker busters as well. I do think we are going to see a little bit of a change in play style here, especially on land.
Change in play style leads into a change of the guard. Now, Goj has been talking about this throughout his commentary alongside that of Spider Tiff. For the longest time, we had the usual suspects being at the top. You think back to TBE, right? But over the time of the Warzone
Let me
competitive
fix my
landscape,
camera
especially
real
when we
quick.
introduced the global stage, last year being London, obviously here being Las Vegas, I feel like things have increased tenfold in the Warzone competitive space. And that means, what changing of the guard, right? That means the old guard is moving out, and now we're starting to get these new competitors moving in. And in fact, we have some competitors here who really we didn't know too much about coming into today, but we're going to know a lot about them moving in, forward throughout the next 2 days. Now, Dream, you were once a competitor. What is it like to get on that stage and just be
he ended up in the
first
fucking box
time?
perfectly.
How hard is it to
That's
control
funny.
yourself when you're going against veterans? You're
Let
going
me fix
against
this
the
camera
older, you're trying to
configuration
prove
here.
and set a name for yourself.
Well, I will say it's a lot.
In all reality, it
different
looks
now
fine
from
how it
when
is, I
was
think.
competing back then.
Still hype you up.
Well, I will say though, there's a lot of pressure that can go into it, but however, it's a lot that you need to ignore. If you are a good competitor, good player, like as we're gonna just use it as an example, SSD.
I actually think that looks
energy,
fine.
a lot of that going into the day, you just need to be there. You need to be confident. You need to be focused on your game. No distractions, and it can be a lot. It can be, but if you're that type of person, it just really depends on you. Everything today falls on you and your team, and you just need to be locked.
Some of the teams that qualified, again, we didn't know too much about. They win, and they were pulling up big numbers. We're talking 40, 50-plus points, right? Enigma, when I saw them playing as well as they were, and even bringing them in for the interview, the confidence that they had, they were like, dude, this is our stage. We've been playing for the longest time. We've just been waiting for our opportunity. Right now that they're here, I think Baba Huff is one of them, and several others who are genuinely looking to make a name for themselves on the biggest stage. They've got to take that moment. They've got to own it. Do you think there's a big difference between the veterans and the newcomers on the stage?
I think 100%. I think that we're seeing this with Fever Kill Lennon and Jukies. They finally found out that it's not about just turning up and shooting your gun anymore. This is kind of like when we were all kids and we were in school and your mom told you you were very clever. And you finally get to university or maybe college or whatever, and suddenly you realize you're actually a bit average. You need to put in some work. And I think that's what this is now. As we've evolved, as the space has grown, and it's been wonderful to be a part of seeing that throughout this last year. But you've got a lot of these players now that suddenly think, well, hang on a second, I've got to start to assess my VOD. I've got to have a plan coming into this, and not just 1, 2, or 3 some of these teams are bringing. That's how this has got to work out. So I think as we start to rise on through the new guard, one of the things as well with the old guard, of course, the only previous dynasty, the only one we've ever had in this space, Tommy, Alm, and Noobs, technically none of them qualified for this. Tommy will be a coach for Team Community. Alm, the Noobs are in as subs, but this truly is a shifting.
One thing that I loved that that Enigma said was that there's a lot more that goes into this. We have bigger players into the mix. We have big orgs picking up these teams where the teams are like, okay, I have to take this serious. I'm representing an org, and even for Falcons going into EWC, right? That was one of the things they said, like, okay, we're confident, but we're a little bit nervous. But now that they got that win, they got that land at EWC going into this, that confidence is carrying. So when you have that support, that's just carrying you further into
the next thing I'm fucking doing is getting my monitors back mounted to the wall so I can have my space underneath my monitors again.
We continue to need to have it because it'll only keep growing.
Confidence is key. You got confidence, it can take you really anywhere in life. For me, well, it kind of tapers off. But, you know, sometimes I got that confidence. Enigma, I appreciate the gas whenever you do give it to me. Dantro, you always keep me level-headed, and I appreciate you for that. That is quite literally your job. It was in your contract. Let's talk about how today is going to work out. Again, we've got 2 days of competition. Today is only day number 1. You'll get to see all 40 trios once again competing, 120 players. They're playing for points this time around to lead into tomorrow. Tomorrow is 150 points. However, first place today walks away with 40. That gets you that much closer. I believe we said 23-something percent.
This is my dilemma right now. Is the cord for my...
It was 26.4%, but I don't think we can understate how important getting those 40 points. As a quick reminder, 2nd through 5th will be getting 30 to start day number 2. It is really, really clutch that you actually perform well here today. I heard some competitors saying, day 1 doesn't really matter. Day 2 is when we got to show up. And I'm like, brother, you're letting SSD start with potentially plus 40 when we're trying to get to 150? Yeah. Insane that we kind of even chopped that.
Some people were, I think, repost them during their polls check during their podcast, which, by the way, love. Been listening to that every time I take a shower. I think to myself, they're like, dude, this could be ended in, it wasn't a weird statement, just roll by. I think to myself, like, they were like, dude, this could end in 3 games. 3 games, maybe 4. I'm thinking we go 8. I'm hoping we get 12, maybe even 20. Well, 20 would be a lot, but I hope we at least get 8. And there's a good reason for that. We're talking about that. But 3 games would be absolutely nothing. You're right. It could be a death sentence to give SSD, Team Falcons, right, that 40-point lead going into the next day. But enough about the trios. Let's talk about the solos, because Solo YOLO is back. $50,000 going to the winner, and each and every year Solo YOLO has been around. Well, it has not disappointed. Dream, there it is, Scump winning the first. And, well, that's what kind of started the whole CDL Warzone debate. But regardless, talk to me about Solo YOLO and what it's like for the competitors.
Oh, that was going to say, that was a blast from the past, because that was insane how much that had happened there. But Solo YOLO, severely intense. And we saw back in the day, both regions were playing collectively online. So this is actually Chow taking it for the European region. And oh my gosh.
With the riot shield.
Yeah, right. We saw a lot of riot shields and people ducking in corners, but it's literally stay alive. Last one standing wins $50,000 here today.
I think as an EMEA fan, this is something I'm extremely excited for this year. Yeah, we can see about Chow there, but also FIFA Kill flew over to North America, won it over there, and there's been 2 Solo YOLOs.
Yeah, I remember when FIFA Kill won it here.
Juki's won one very recently there, as well as Enkyo picking up one earlier on in the year. So personally, I'm really looking forward to this event.
I am as well.
Oh, that's not
it's always so fun to see the teams break apart. And last year was just absolutely nutty, watching Skullface win in the way that he did. I believe in that gulag, that famous gulag. I get Shifty? Was
Sage.
Or Sage.
Yeah, Sage giving the gulag to Skullface, saying, no, listen, I just won the whole event. I'm giving it to my boy. Skull gets back on in and goes on an absolute run of just big brain thinking to clutch it on up. But we got to talk about, too, remember who came
I remember that
win. Soka and Breadman, who are here today as well. So I'm looking towards something. This was insane. Part of Warzone history, dude, just being able to play up there, baits both of them on in. It was just insane. I love that we have all these players competing today. It is just one of my favorite things of the World Series of Warzone.
Without a doubt. Now, I love Redman, but it was sweet justice to see the Riot Shield lose that 1v1 at the end. First place, $50,000. I actually love that we just did zeros for everybody else, just in case you didn't realize only first place gets $50,000. So if you're second, you're the first loser out there. I'd much rather just be the first one out at that point in time to be that close. No, $50,000, that's a lot of money. We're in the right place, actually, to earn that money, put it all on red. That's my strategy out there. Solo YOLO's back. Can't wait to see how that's going to go. Dandro, I actually hope that we bring in the will again, right, to kind of see, because that's how we predicted.
I'm like really hoping for that, because last year we spun it, and I got DJ Moss, and I was hyping up my boy, and I was like, yeah, and I want to get it again. again. DJ, his whole family's here. Huge shout out to Maddie and his family for coming in from Ohio. Love that they are here. DJ's one of my boy. And I think he can also pull out the solo YOLO. That guy, he's a little bit of a nerd. He's like, he's real cool, calm, collected, but he's like, yeah, I know the spots. I know the tricks. Don't worry. I got it. And I think he's going to really perform well. The wheel was very fun. Production,
it was.
Please bring the wheel back.
I hope we do. I hope we do. Or at least Pulse Check, they maybe implement that in their own products. You know, when I think about families, though, you mentioned DJ Moss. We had a chance to actually talk to him yesterday when we were leaving the arena. And he's like, yeah, my whole family's coming out. So that's a beautiful thing. Yeah. That's a beautiful thing. Because, you know, we talk about esports and it's passion-based, and it really is. But it can be tough to do, right? So that family support takes you quite a long way. And there's a lot of families here supporting, right? Maybe their son, maybe their daughter, right? So you never know who's going to be out there in the chat, T, right? Shout out to her. It's going to be a good time. It really is. And I know everybody's going to get loud. SSD, obviously, they have the biggest chip on their shoulder. They look like to be the most dominant team. FIFA, he was catching strays during the interviews. The question is, could he, along with obviously Jukies and Lennon, come out on top? That's a big question because there's some big names. Last year wasn't the best either. But there's a lot of questions. I'm wondering how it's all going to unfold. For Miles, though, he's out there on the stage. We've got Seppa. Let's hear what Seppa has to say.
Oh, good day, mates. How we doing?
They are dragging this shit out.
Mate, how you been? It's been, mate, last time I saw you, gosh, I can't remember now, but you've been out to the US so often recently. How you been?
Pretty good, yeah. We just finished a 3-week boot camp. So, yeah, we're feeling really prepared and keen.
Keen seems to be the keen thing here. Everyone's keen. You've got to be raring to go. We're almost ready to get into the first game, but how has that practice been? Obviously, coming from down under, it's not as easy to compete online, but are you feeling the benefits of that 3 months here?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the competition back home is not as strong as it is over here, so that's how we had to move here. But yeah, we've improved a lot as a team. We've got some pretty solid placements, and yeah, now we just need to translate it to LAN.
You guys have had solid performances throughout the year. Is there any teams here that you've kind of got any beef with, or anyone you're worried about, or you really want to put them down?
No, the team that we have beef with didn't even qualify, so yeah.
Fair, mate. That's fair. Anything you want to say to the fans back home watching from Australia?
Appreciate all the Aussies supporting us. It means the world. And yeah, we hear you all.
Loud and clear, mate. Thank you so much. Good luck. We'll see you in the game. Desk, it is back to you.
Thank you very much there. Miles Zappa looking to go big. Australia, man. You know, it's interesting going all the way back to when I started in 2012. I'm thinking about Australia, Mind Freak, and those, you know, kind of competitors and the ping difference. And you got players like Chrissy, for example, who was competing last year during the qualifiers. She moved over from Australia, I believe, to Canada, if I'm not mistaken, to play. She actually almost made it to the global stage. Signal queen, as far as I'm concerned, back in the day, right? But love to see Zappa out there representing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things with this Na'Vi squad that was very impressive at the Esports World Cup was their positioning. They unfortunately fall a little bit short, but I think that with these Australians, we talk about the ping difference and such that they have to deal with online. On LAN, they have a really solid fundamental play about them. They put themselves in the right spot very often, sometimes struggle to see that out, but it does mean that they're getting themselves into that higher multiplier, and they're never shy of taking gunfights. They're picking up kills along the way. So I am actually very excited to see that squad do something. I know you're going to try and say that they're one of the NA teams, but I can share a little bit of love with them because they're part of the Commonwealth.
Yeah, and wasn't Zeppa 2 last year the only player, I believe, from that region to qualify for both champs on the multiplayer side and for World Series of Warzone?
That's huge.
For these guys, I mean, yeah, you love to see that. But the resilience from that player, from Zeppa, that's amazing.
Resiliency is key, right? And we see these players consistently being resilient on stage, taking a tough loss, snapping back right to the next game. And game number one. Is game number one about to get started? Hey, let's get loud in the arena. Game number one is about to get started. 2024 World Series of Warzone Global Finals is about to be underway. I could not be more excited. All these teams are raring to go, and so am I. So without further ado, let's head over to our casters, Spider, Tiff, and Goj.
Wow, thank you so much, Desk. Hey, good afternoon, Vegas. It's great to be here. I'm Goj. This is Tiff, and Tiff, I'm just excited to get into the game. We're here, finally. It's time, and the first game's about to drop.
Yeah, it really is, and I couldn't be more excited to see all of the players that are just
God,
here
they were taking
in
forever.
LAN, in
Hurry the
person,
fuck up and get the game
rivalries that have
started.
developed, and who knows what we're going to see. Some are calling it potentially a last dance effort.
Okay, so they are about to start.
You better cement it first.
Yeah, the Desk talked about it ad nauseum, and I think it's worth mentioning again. The Falcons are the
they're
team
about
to
to
beat
start.
right now, but this is still day one.
They probably
so this
have
is
a
really
fucking
setting
delay
the
going
tone
too.
for what we're going to be seeing for the rest of the competition. Folks, if you've ever watched a Call of Duty broadcast I've been a part of, I always use this term, the litmus
He
test.
does.
Let me burn it now, the litmus test. This is the time to see what the lobby will play like. As we're getting into our first drop here, every team will play different on LAN. Every team will play a little bit more aggressive or a little bit slower. So this very first map, everybody gets to decide what type of player they are and what type of team they are.
Oh, and I can just feel all of the energy just kind of roaring up as we're getting to look at Urzikstan. Like you said, it is just day one. What is at stake here? Those advanced starting points moving into tomorrow for that Call of Duty Warzone match point. 150, but let's say you come out on top today. Those 40 points are beyond such a good game and can be such a boon to teams that may have struggled over the past couple of months to get to that threshold.
It's such a good shout. I mean, today is so incredibly important, and I think when we think about this game, we are dropping into it. Now's the time to set the tone. Everything you have on the line, folks. It is time for our very first drop of the day.
About fucking time.
And here we go. We always want to see what's going to occur, especially with the battle of high-rise noobs. Steve-O, Patsuka, it's already getting mixy, but you got to check behind you because Unrational has came with hands.
Well, welcome to High Rise, folks. As expected, this is hot to start, and it looks like for the first time in a while, that Stuo, Patsuka, and Noobs team catching the wrong end of that fight. That is a brutal start for a squad that a lot of folks expected to do fantastic today. Team Vitality having to be off to the races, running through this side of apartments, and I think Dongi,
I wonder if they're on YouTube
I was really curious
for Call
if
of
we
Duty
were
because
see maybe a
the
waving
quality
of
will
the
be
white
better on
flag
YouTube.
to try and determine, hey, we
Yep, there it
value
is.
our life. Hey, we
I'm gonna
value
put it
our
on
life
YouTube
because
instead
this
because
is
the quality will
points
be better.
race. This is where we just need to acquire as many eliminations as you can. So they're kind of separating them back. Unrational going just towards the north, finishing up that kind of place. But there's so many teams that land over in this quadrant of Urzikstan that you have
Having
to be hyper aware of.
Codcaster
They
in
all know
Warzone
that
is fucking
contest
actually pretty
initially
sick.
happening, and if you separate out too far, Nida can easily run straight into Unrational, but Scummin, good things coming back over.
Yeah, folks, again, the litmus test. Apparently, Unrational and Scummin said, well, the best games we have is when we fly at teams. So already getting into the mix and winning that high-rise spot. We talked to Scummin before the broadcast, and he said, don't worry, we're going back to high-rise and we're going to win it. And apparently, that's the case. A massive victory there, but we move to another side of the map. This is C-Town. Now, this fire station area is an interesting one. There's a lot of teams that like to land on this side of the map as well, especially with a team like Team Fnatic that apparently, didn't make it through this qualifying series, but a lot of their players made it to this stage. A lot of these drop spots are up for grabs, and because of that, a lot of things have changed in the last couple days. But we are here with our APAC team, who is apparently doing pretty well so far, looking like they've got a decent amount of resources.
See, I was really curious because I was watching the Pulse Check
Stream
IRL
is
stream
lagging.
just yesterday, and Shifty was talking about how XTH was willing to land on them over at Pop-Off Power. And they're like, let it be. Let it be that free elimination that we need to kickstart our World Series of Warzone. We will
Their
force
stream is lagging like crazy.
Right next to each other on stage.
Yeah, and I think the low-risk play there of landing more towards the middle of the map is definitely the way to go rather than heading up to Popov. I can only imagine Popov is all quiet on the northern front of this map, and I think the Falcons are walking away with 40-50K likely. But to the bridge we go over here on Seaside, and well, one of the only other teams that we expected to have a ton of chemistry because of their long storied history as a trio, looking to find a couple freebies in the ocean as folks are rotating out and getting fried because of it.
Well, Bagel over here just getting absolutely wild, but I like that we're not overextending, but keep your eyes on Tabulator. Dandro was talking about on the desk, has been kind of saying a lot on the timeline, right? I've got a lot to prove, and we are seeing a flank.
He's trying to get flanked right now.
Water. Don't let yourself get wrapped like that, Bagel. Don't.
Yeah, slowly but surely, we're just going to protect our flank right now, like you said. We've got a long way to go. Again, we had a quick view of the map, and it is headed towards, at least somewhat towards the eastern side. So we're going to continue to move on and take a look at the rest of this map as we're continuing to hunt our prey. But we're going to move around and see what's going on. A couple things I noticed, those that are Cloud9 fans with Jowo Squad, it seemed like they headed more centrally located than usual. They are not on that side of the map. So instead, they're going to be landing over towards Old Town, Low Town area and moving down to the south. But we move over to Pentagon, who's apparently found some prey of his own especially with Fuzzing up on high ground. This is a nice pinch they're setting up.
Yeah, it really is, right? And this is one of those squads that has been landing down towards this area. If the Don
Zone's already moving in too.
already down on the ground. Nano drops down,
Done.
tries to recover and maybe put some pressure on.
Oh no, you're gone. Oh, you're done. Oh, you're done. Try to get
Swarming
that full though, but he
for
missed.
Nano, and that will likely
He tried to
be
get the
the
full on
cleanup
that
for
fucking with that throwing knife, but he
Bubble
missed.
CT, a massive squad, and well, I know the Dust didn't touch on this, and this one's for you, Wars. You're washed.
If this keeps having issues, I'm gonna switch to a singular streamer and just watch them.
Dang,
Or switch around.
Worst performs on land. I don't know about that. We'll
No,
see.
it's all part of the ritual. You just gotta let it happen.
The reverse Cassigress. Here's a quick look at our map, by the way. As expected, to the eastern side, to maybe farms we go, to the south side of military. Oftentimes see these circles end up somewhere near Superstore. Welcome back to the map, by the way, Superstore. We'd love to have you around these parts since we're dance. But we take a look at it and look at a couple of these squads. Number one is the one I want to highlight in the red on the right-hand side. That is Omit EU. This is Ankyo, Grom, Heat. This is one of those teams that a lot of folks on Twitter were saying this is one of the best squads here. We expect them to be top 5. And as expected, they are playing for end of game already. They are prepared and waiting for their prey. That does likely mean they have a very low amount of kills, though.
That's very true, but when you start looking at circles initially like this, start thinking of military base, because a lot of those teams, they're going to rotate in from the north and look to clean that all out. Specifically, Dongi, right? Getting another squad wipe, sending more people straight to that gulag, but we have to think about that initial public event, the fire sale that occurs at the top of every Circle 3. A lot of teams will look to get a lot more hyper aggro in that moment, and especially a team that's already got a few eliminations and not afraid to fight. This one on your screen, Team Community.
Look, at the end of the day, any team that has a great start usually has a great finish in a game like this. And so because this team was able to win high rise, they're able to rotate over here to Opera. They could keep looking for kills. They know what they can do from a kill and slaying potential. The question is, can they get their multipliers? This is a really good team. Up until the last couple weeks or so, everybody said that's team number 2. And now maybe falling into the top 5, top 10, but I still believe them to be one of the best teams here. But to Silo we go. And I'm going to be honest, it's good to see flanked on LAN again, this time with Gabe and Blast. And this Gabe, Kuhn, if you don't know Gabe, this is one of those players, some rumors out there of a Rookie of the Year. I know those questions are in the air. Gabe is very, very talented. The question is, how long will his leash be? And apparently not all that long. Grabs an ATV, is going to go catch up with his team.
Well, he's one of those players that has been talking a lot about how he wants to be the next up, the very best that has ever touched Warzone, and he's definitely on that right path. But when you think about Bazaar in general, this fight has been occurring every single time, but the fact that we're 7 minutes into this game and we are still getting Mixie at Bazaar, I mean, it makes sense considering where the circle is pulling, but now it's just getting personal.
Look, I gotta say, if you're not tuned into the Twitter beef between these two teams that land Bazaar, you should tap in. It is egregious at this point, and frankly, the team on your screen right now has lost most of those encounters up until recently, and apparently recency bias pays off in kind, because Bazaar is theirs right now. And look at this Omit NA squad, a ridiculously aggressive rotation. As a reminder, folks, this Omit NA squad with Brax, a top 10 team in my opinion, a very strong team, frankly probably a really good team on LAN. They start in the northwestern side of the map, and they've rotated all the way to Bazaar already here in our second circle.
Well, Volcom opens it up, knocks Juju, gets the full. Braxton comes in with the tray, but Panda on the inside gets absolutely laid out in with a steel chair.
Oh my God, he just
coming on back. This one's gonna be
spanked
bloody, and
them.
Panda's pretty much gonna have to win that gulag because the reset is going to be on the
He
hands of Rizzo.
just spanked them.
I'm surprised to see Omit NA kind of folding like that.
Yeah, they had a great setup, and I think they just got a hair too over-aggressive. Didn't have the third there to play trades. Resolves able to get to the buy station, get his teammates right back into the mix. Brax and his team with Omit NA need to win their gulags and get back for free. And then again, this fight will continue. And well, look at the kill feed. Brax does not win, which means now they are player down. It is just Youngsters on main stage for the first time for World Series of Warzone, but a long storied player. I'm excited to watch Youngsters all day today. But to the Falcons we go, because the question is, where are they? How much money do they have? And how many kills have they found in Pop-Off? And right now, they're continuing to ward off any aggressive moves.
Do you know how many times I've watched the Falcons loot Pop-Off power? They walk out with $50,000, a backpack full of streaks, and ready to just get Mixie. But this squad, I love to take the redeploy and get out of there, but they're just a hair south of where the Falcons are inevitably going to push across. They were back there towards that bridge with a mobile buy station to be able to acquire, whether it's more bunker busters, UAV, whatever is going to get them towards that next zone. And you already think if you're getting pressured from different angles here, we just need to get inside, stabilize, and figure out our next move.
Well, they had a chance to talk to Na'Vi not too long ago, and well, Na'Vi is nowhere to be found. They are running away from this fight. I think a player down, and as per the usual, folks, in the private matches like this, you're not 1v3ing very often. And 2v3s, even those are very difficult to win. So if you're in a true
Well, yeah, I
3v3,
imagine they're
sure,
difficult to
we're
win
gonna see some
against
fun
all
fights. If
fucking
you
pros,
lose
basically.
one, it's the signal flare for the team in the opposition to come flying at you, whereas your team usually tries to run away. This time, the runners were able to get away as we get some loot. Now, okay, this is a great call from you earlier, Tiff. This is our third circle. We're going to have some fire cells active. We're going to have a ton of UAVs in the air. We're going to have a lot of info. This is a great time for a lot of folks to get into the mix and find some kills.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, a lot of people are going to be running Ghost as their perks, and so you'll start seeing things like that. But Nano in the distance flank, maybe they want to get hyper aggro. It's that time to kind of let it all fly. But we got a chance to talk to Sage, Adrian, Swag just yesterday, and they were
Adrian honestly is a pretty solid player too. I've never watched him before, but I've seen him play with other people.
I know I'm going to go play for $1 million,
Huskers
but
down
it feels like I
Aiden,
already
Smith down
All right,
Huskers.
FaZe. I'm excited to see them because at the end of the day, FaZe didn't get a lot of talk at the beginning of the show, and I think they deserve a little bit more. I do believe we have an interview with maybe the first team out. Uh-oh.
Gooey, first team to be eliminated here in the first map. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Right on, brother, as you should. Anything that went wrong, what's going to go right next time?
I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be right back.
Very bad contract spawns, and compared to where we usually land, it was a pretty far flight. So.
Well, mate, you'll get them next time. Just to remind you of that, we have a small medal for you that says, better luck next time. Hopefully this is a good luck charm for you in the next one, man. Good luck. Back to the casters.
Wow, that is brutal, Miles. All right, better luck next time. I will give them some credit, though. Team North, first team out. However, they were top 10 every game besides game 1 in the regional finals. So maybe they're just going to repeat history and get top 10. Here's a quick look at our next circle, folks. We're going to see this close in. Now, again, with this circle, all eyes on Team 1 in the red. That is Omit EU, Tiff, and they are just waiting for anybody to come their way.
They really are, but keep your eyes on that 5. The Falcons right there as well. They're kind of starting that. Now, their matter of plan is to make sure that they clear out one side of this circle. So I think Omit EU moving in this early on, I'm hoping that they did it with enough cash and resources to be able to maintain it. Because, yes, you can take a god tier position, but if you take it at the wrong time, it really doesn't pan out well for you.
Well, as per the usual, a couple different modalities here for some of our teams. Hunting the edge of zone, especially if maybe you're a western side team, it's probably going to be the name of the game, looking for a lot of kills. Almond on 3, by the way, and I know we talked a lot about this team, but the fact that we have all members of TBE here, all split up on different teams or coaching, they're still here. They always make their way to land, no matter what it takes. We move on to another fight as Gabe and Blast have gotten into the mix again with Na'Vi, and this time I guess it looks like Na'Vi might have a little bit of a boon on their side with a player advantage.
I don't know. Blast on 5, Gabe on 4. It's getting aggressive. Zeppa, they said they boot camped for 3 weeks, and I'm ready to see it pay off. But we do love a third party, because if it's not a third party, it's not Call of Duty at this rate. And flanked in Gabe. Gabe in the gulag and flanked just trying to get away.
Yeah, it's a great third party there from, I believe, Vision Squad that came in and said, yeah, we'll take a piece of this pie and then move on our merry way. Again, a long way to go. Reminder, we took a look at the circle. It is headed towards the east. It is likely headed towards farms. This is military base still, so this is where this team drops. They've been fighting here since the very beginning of the game. As we're moving into 4th circle, they've got to get a move on. They've got to get some resources. Take a look at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen really quick. They have $1,300 to their name and probably not a lot of plates to go around. Hardly a gun to go around. This is going to be a brutal regain for this team. We are slowly but surely creeping into some multipliers as we are into the top 30 teams, which will be a 1.2.
Yeah, and that's going to be very vital here. You want to make your kills do all the work for you. A lot of teams will hit that average of 1.6, 1.8, but a top 5 will be incredibly vital. And if you look, we do already have some teams that are starting to make that work. We didn't really even get to talk too much about Team Echo because we haven't seen them just yet on the screen. And I would love to check in with them, right? Look, I've played tournaments with Echo. Dandro and I both have, and we've really found success. And honestly, if I say that he found success, he definitely carried me, and I can imagine he's going to do crazy stuff here.
Let's take a look at the Falcons. They found a nest up here at Academy. This is a fun spot for them. I watched them win a tournament here once they already got to match point. So let's see what Ahsoka can do. Not a crazy amount of eliminations yet. You got to remember, though, of this team, all 3 can be Slayers. Just given whatever game they end up playing. I think it was Biffle who is easily the lowest amount of kills during regional finals, but in recent tourneys, Biffle's been turning on the heat. So we'll see what they do. It looks like they've got about 9 or so across the board with a multiplier coming through. So about to find some double digits here shortly, but smartly not giving away a very strong position, holding several teams rotating in.
Well, hear me out. Shifty in a bush, just peeking. I want to listen in with them. Let's hear what the Falcons have to say.
You break it? No, I popped the tire, though.
Pop another one. I mean, that should be low shit.
Gotta take the balloon. He's about back. Kid on the street, too. Kid on the street.
Oh, left
fighting.
zip.
It's like 6 kids, bro. I'm looking right window.
You see that zip? Shifty?
Kid right here. In these bushes. Second zip.
Got that low left. Yo, low left. Swing. Wiping. Gotta run at us. Absolutely, he's behind something. They already swung the low.
Look to your right. Look your right. I haven't looked right yet, D.
Over here. We're smoking up on the right over here. Yeah, they're in the little divot. They're in the close divot. Sorry, one way to the backside. What about our left? What's our left looking like?
We should swing the hill, no?
Left, yeah.
We can even take the balloon. Nah, let's run.
Got clues out there. Sorry for that team that was on our left.
Be up here. You can take the car. You gotta reprint.
Where are these guys on the mini map? Are they below them?
Curtain of one of the greatest teams to grace Warzone. We'll see if they can be the greatest after this one. They need to get a first round win to set the tone for this tournament. Some great IGL calls. They pick up double digits and they move on their merry way. And again, somehow, I'm gonna quote Dandro here, for free, there's nobody looking at this side of the map because, well, there's the out of bounds line. They are headed to the very edge of this map and find the wildcard team in transition. A couple knocks from distance gonna open up this playing field for them even more to run down. This looks like we're storming some sort of like Greek mythology moment here. This is wild. They're about to run down a hill with nobody in sight.
No, they're just frolicking around Urzikstan. It is literally their playground and it's their world. We're just living in it. But that's just what they do. They clear out an entire side. But tell me we haven't seen this before, as we do see Team Aiden full squad wipe down to 17 kills. And honestly, that one on the overall standings, their first place, is running into some issues as also.
Okay, and again, as expected, we have headed to the far side of this map as far as we can go and then some, right? And so if you know the Falcons, you know they want to find the winning condition.
Brayden, if it only does it one way, you're fine. It's not going to hurt you.
They are playing for this around
Hey, look.
Team Clapper, they are right around the corner.
Look, feel my
they
foot.
Need this
Put your hand on my ankle.
ASAP, so they don't have anyone breathing down their necks, and they get set up for what's coming. There's a lot of teams headed their way soon in the next couple circles.
If I move my foot a certain way, it always does that. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If you're sitting in a specific position and then you do something and it makes something and it only does it at that time, it's probably just because you're in that position, buddy. There's nothing wrong. You can come sit in here if you want.
Yeah, Rocket finally gets cut down, but it actually goes inside of J-Tech and B-Mark. And now the Falcons lie in wait, and they know, hey, we're not technically a noob, but we're close enough to make a play. So we head over to another wildcard team who's having maybe a bit better of a game. Now, this is such a fun conversation because last year, I'm going to put it frankly, our wildcard teams, they didn't perform on land. This squad, though, is one of those teams that a lot of people expected to do well in regional finals.
Biffle, Shifty, and Hisoka are in the top right now.
We gotta get in the lab, gentlemen. And finally, the last week or so, everything has started to click. They get a top 5 position in a recent tune-up tourney, and they're looking really strong right now. Take a look at the top middle of our screen. We blink, and we only have 10 squads left, folks. We are into a big multiplier here. 1.6 is kind of
about to
the
get
minimum
hectic.
that you want. You got a decent amount of kills. This is a great game for this Nick Cool Colony 2K squad.
It really is, but unfortunately, you've got to get through this rotation, and when you're looking down the barrels at so many squads, even that Omid
Shifty squad is over there on the edge. They're in zone, though.
When they lose off that and they have to hit a rotation, investing a mortar to try and cause a bit of chaos to allow them to get on in. But keep an eye, Colony 2K, it's firing season. He isn't going to be able to get in on this.
There's another one in gas.
Maybe wait too long. Wait.
Wow.
Finds a way in barely, and a teammate still alive. Omit EU is
That guy
still
missed
in
his
this
shot so
thing,
bad.
and they are about to secure a 1.8 multiplier. This is a key moment for all of our teams right now. 6 squads remaining.
Ifakil's team is doing pretty solid too.
Massive He's get cut down. We've got Enkyo down below. We've made it to top 5. 1.8 multiplier is in play.
Omit NA down. Enki the ground. Finished there by Soka. The Falcons, they wanted to come in and cement that
They're still
dynasty
doing really
by
good.
opening things up.
There's
with
only
a
3 teams
solid
left
performance
already.
here in match number 1, and they own all of the space on the map. FIFA kill over there in the distance, but this big fight here between J-Tech, B-Mark, Slide, this will determine it all. The final three, but J-Tech, he drops Soka. Shifty, you better answer back for that one.
You know what Slide, B-Mark, and J-Tech's name is? Revenge
2v1.
Tour, and they're on it.
Wouldn't
Shifty is in his
shit.
bag.
FIFA's coming to the third party.
FIFA comes in, plays the third party
FIFA's starting.
perfectly.
Oh wait, is FIFA the only one left?
Rotation.
Oh, he is.
Solo. So we've got a 1v1 v2. The
1v1 v2.
Revenge Tour has the chance to win it all here. The question is, will the third party be the difference maker? We just have to wait and see.
And you remember that interview with the Falcons? I think FIFA would be like, and I took that.
Oh, bye
personally.
FIFA. FIFA's
But
gone.
B-Mark
That's it.
still gonna catch it from the back, and we have a 2v1. We just
Shifty.
gotta locate Shifty.
Slide goes to aggro.
There it is. Okay.
B-Mark. Revenge Tour is here. The Falcons fall in second with a massive game. But Revenge Tour says we're here to enact revenge. There is nobody cheering our name.
Good
And
plays.
we're here to prove ourselves on land by winning the first map of the day.
Sometimes when you know that you have nothing to lose and everything to gain, because leading up to the World Series of Warzone, everyone talks about the Falcons. Even the desk was saying it. But you know what? Sometimes even gods can bleed. Like they said, chinks in the armor. But a 1.8 is still a crazy start considering how many eliminations they probably walked away with. But a 2x even
Right
better.
back.
You got to remember about this team too. They land like the very top left portion of the map. They had a crazy rotation, and because of it, they set themselves up with success by rotating early. That's what gave them this win. They got there when they needed it most, and then they won the 2v1. There is one thing to say about teams like this, Tiff. It's that when they know they have advantages and they actually push it, they play with confidence. Taking down arguably the best player in the game right now, 2v1, is still difficult, but having the confidence to know we will win that gunfight every single day of the week. Very well done for Revenge Tour.
Oh, look, I would be like losing my absolute mind on stage knowing that you just did that in game number 1, that litmus test that you were talking about, which means as we kind of look through this last stand, I think it paints that great picture. And shout out to Heeds there for taking my caster curse and just saying, eat it, bro. Like, I'm still getting out of here. Sure, we got a better multiplier and some more eliminations to go along with it, but it was that early rotation here out of Nickel and Colony 2K under the guise of the smokes to really allow them to try and find any of those eliminations while teams were later on that rotate.
Yeah, again, this wildcard team did a fantastic job to get here with a ton of eliminations as well. I'm really curious to know how many kills our Omit EU squad did find, because they did make it to 1.8 times multi, and a lot of folks think they are the number 2 to top 5 team here. But a final look at this fight, Hisoka, they had win condition, they had a great position. The problem is they lose one in this transition. Watch this move. When you lose Hisoka here, all of a sudden you're in trouble, and it's because Revenge Tour brought the LTV up. That allows B-Mark to take an off angle. It allows Slide to hide behind the vehicle and use it for cover. And then FIFA comes in and plays spoiler. It's the perfect third party from a storied Warzone professional at FIFA kill.
Yeah, and if I'm Revenge Tour, I know where that solo is. We've already accounted for them. And what I want to happen is to allow them to put extra firepower on, but to grab the LTV, to take that challenge, and then know that B-Mark has your back. It's like that diversion, and it was so executed well that, I mean, look, 2x multi, however many eliminations they've got, but I heard we've got some people to talk to, and I want to hear from the Revenge Tour themselves. Miles, what you got for B-Mark?
The moment we saw the highlights, man, congratulations on that first map win. How you feeling after that?
Feeling great. I feel like that's the perfect start we could have. That's the best start we could have asked for. Like, honestly, the adrenaline's going. My heart's racing a million miles a minute right now. You know, our IGL Slide over there put us in the best spot to win the game early. We know this World Series is going to play way different than any other tournament, any other scrim. We're kind of chalking early kills a little bit and playing for endgame, and we know there's going to be a lot of freebies in the endgame.
You got the freebies, man. We saw the last play there with the LTV, dude, crushing it. Obviously, you said things are going to plan so far. I mean, where do you go from here? Do you still keep the aggression up? You still trying to maintain points, or do you want to sort of cruise a little bit?
You know, I talked to my teammates before, and we talked about consistency. Consistency is going to be key all weekend, today, tomorrow. We just want to make it to endgame every game and try to keep that average placement up.
Beautiful. You got a lot of fans here in the crowd. There was a lot of noise when that win went through. What do you want to say to these guys?
I just want to say thank you to all my supporters, all our supporters, all the players here. This turnout is amazing. It's a surreal experience. I can't believe it.
They do. Thank you so much, Beams. Good luck. We'll see you in game 2. Desk, take it away.
All right, game number 1 has concluded, and what a game it was. Not only because it gave us a little bit of EMEA, actually quite a bit of that, we have to say. Falcons were also showing themselves. FIFA, we had a lot of conversation about them. They finished up in top 3, and, well, this team of Revenge Tour, take it all. Let's start there, right, Danjo? Revenge Tour, we're talking B-Mark, J-Tech, Slide. How impactful is it for this trio specifically to win game number 1 in World Series of Warzone?
This is just the ultimate confidence boosters, what this really is, right? These are just 3 players who are coming together to really kind of showcase and shine. And I love, they kind of haven't really ever been respected, if I'm being honest with you. I just feel like they have to be able to keep up this consistency.
Sure.
But being able to win game number 1 in the global final, insane.
Well, let's actually go right back to you, Danjo, because early aggression is what we saw. We discussed maybe we see some slower moments. This game, nothing like that.
Yeah, Hardy's zone really just kind of comes together and forces a lot of these teams to eventually fight. We saw Falcons take that sort of power position over there at Academy, and just you watch them just basically have all of these kills funnel on into them. So many teams were able to do that. I was watching that kill feed, man, and it was just non-stop. I got a little intel saying scrims, players kind of figured out they can start kind of moving around the map maybe a little bit faster than they were used to.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm looking in particular at the EMEA squads that have done really well here and the depth that comes on through. This is what I was talking about at the top of the show. Omit EU, I think we're going to see a lack of kills come on through, but I'm really a big fan of their early rotation. I'm a big fan of where they were putting themselves. They were unlucky with the zone pull, so I think that's a big part of why we might not see them that high up the leaderboard, but they're doing the right things so far. But of course, would be amiss to not talk about Team FIFA Kill, right?
Yes.
Jukis and Lennon, we see them there at the end, and they go big throughout that one. I said that they were coming into this with a plan, finally, and it looks like they have fixed the mistakes, that they had beforehand. And finally, Team Echo. They put a lot of kills early, and then their positioning onward from there was beautiful.
Revenge Tour, Slide, B-Mark, J-Tech, they take game number 1. I love the name. I like the interview from B-Mark. He's feeling confident. He's feeling good. A team that we didn't cover in Top of Show. There were so many greats to talk about. Well, we now need to start discussing them a bit more. Who knows where they're going to be on the leaderboard, but game number 1, it's got to make them feel good and feel confident. They weren't the only team, though, to do well, at least from the EMEA side. Who else should we be discussing?
Well, there were a lot of teams that we saw did pick up a lot of eliminations, and we were kind of talking about that, which teams fell off a little bit, but maybe, not get that placing. But I was looking at Team Echo, Prodigy, Oki, and of course, Echo, of course. But no, the one thing that amazes me about this squad, of course, we saw that Oki on land before previously had went through some surgeries, right? Prodigy right now, he actually has an injury now. So he has a thumb injury. So this team, I don't know what it is with Prodigy and Oki. They're always going against some type of adversity. So it's like, oh my goodness. The fact that Prodigy was picking up eliminations with an injury on his thumb, his thumb is huge.
I was like, dude, did somebody hit it with a hammer? What happened? He's like, I actually don't know. The man woke up and his thumb is just as big as can be. But hey, apparently it didn't affect him whatsoever. They played incredibly well. Echo was a team that we were constantly highlighting, and for good reason. We talked a lot about that aggression. We talked a lot about zones. It's actually going to heat map up and see where a lot of those fights ended up taking place. Dandro, I'll have you handle this.
Yeah, I mean, no surprise here. We're looking at that Old Town, Low Town area there in the middle. A lot of players liking to kind of want to be able to sit in there. And when we kind of saw that zone pull to the East Coast, right, it's no surprise to see that this area kind of saw a lot of teams get caught, and especially down there in City. This is something that we see kind of time over time as players have to move through. You kind of have to pick, what island am I about to try and play for depending on where the zone is going, because you have to make these huge rotations across big open space, across open water, and you might get caught on that rotation.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that Danjo brings up the water there, because you're going to see that essentially that northwestern island is pretty much is dead, because people did not want to get caught on the wrong side of that river, knowing that the zone was definitely not going to be up there. So they're rotating early. That's why you're seeing a lot of those kills in the middle of the map, because as Danjo points out, they're getting caught. But then also you're seeing a couple of teams try and hedge their bets about which island it would end up being on this eastern side, and you end up by the Abtal Academy, where of course it's going to be quiet until we get to our end stage, and then the Falcons and everyone else just lit it up.
Yeah, and that's really key, like, right, positioning. And as an even, I GL player, we're really leaning on those players. Like, what should we do? What should we make the decisions? And we just heard B-Mark say it, right? We had a great player that told us like where we needed to go. But looking at that, getting set up early, I think it was 28. What was it? Zeppa? I think there was another team that actually got out of dodge, was able to get out of that action. So if you're a team that noticed, okay, there's a team set up early, how do we rotate? How do we finesse? It's just those in-game moments that really matter. That's going to make a team shine here today.
Well, let's talk about a team that did shine outside of Revenge Tour, who took game number 1, our second place team, which was Team Falcons. Okay, we get that nice open zone, but let's take a step back in time. Before that moment, Dandro, Falcons are set up quite nicely. I ask you the question as we're watching the game, are they set up and trying to implement the gatekeeping strategy? Were they blessed by zones, or did they appropriately set up to obviously have that great in-game? Talk to me about their mid-game, their start, and how they finished.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a basically bread and butter Hisoka big brain call on that zone is what that is, right? When you start seeing it pull to that eastern side of the map, you know that Academy is going to be this great place to go ahead and set up, because when they're
You're...
they understand.
Hello, Daniel. Welcome back. Sorry, I had to go help Brayden for a minute. He was feeling anxious.
Set up on some rooftops, on some low ground.
I don't understand why that boy gets so anxious right now.
Teams who are trying to just grab space, and when you have that squad just denying so much area and rotations, you basically force all of those other teams to go underneath, and we just watched squads fall one by one as that happened. It was a great position. Before we went over to them, they were nowhere on that leaderboard.
That's right.
After that sort of zone where they're able to catch all those people, they're sitting up there second right below Echo.
Well, game number 1 is done. 5 more games to go. Let's take a look at our standings after game number 1 has concluded. Who is on top of the leaderboard? It's actually Team Falcons. The eliminations was enough. Second place got them up to the top. 17 elims, 30.6 total points. And then we got Team Echo. We talked about how good they are playing through injury, but more importantly, playing out of their minds. They currently sit in second, and in fact, the most eliminations out of the entire lobby.
Nice to waiting for OBS.
Juki's Lennon, they're in 3rd place. And well, Enigma, you covered Omit EU. There they are in 4th.
Yeah, absolutely. Big fan of Omit EU and what they were trying to do in terms of the fundamental positioning, the early rotations, basically changed their drop spot, apologies. But I think one of the things as well when it comes to Omit EU is that they are, you know,
why is it waiting for OBS?
Maybe of not pushing up that church strong point that you had for Falcons. But what I will say is with the Falcons play in particular that you brought up there, Dandro, one of the things that Soka loves to do is trying to take that early strong spot and then use the out of bounds as an area to really seal them off. And I think that was the difference maker between the two teams there. I think if Omit EU go for that church spot early, they can make that same play instead. So fine margins, but seeing a lot of EMEA presence nice and early.
I mean, dude, I love that. But I also got to shout out Heeds for that 1v2 on.
Nasty.
My God. That was the 180 just choke slam on people. I was like, oh wow, like great positioning here. I'm like, oh okay, we're shooting nukes today. I love it.
All right, well, FIFA Kill and his crew, they did an incredible job. Currently sit in 3rd place. We actually had a chance to hear from FIFA Kill. Let's hear what he had to say.
Awkward.
Series of Warzone here in Las Vegas. I'm here with Team FIFA Kill, and that is going to be, of course, FIFA Kill, Lennon, and Jukies. It's fair to say, lads, it's been a bit of a rocky road. Can you talk about why it's been a tough year?
I mean, we had a good start in the group stages with, I think, 4th place.
Oh, that's Lennon. I thought that was Jukies.
An update came out.
That's why I was like, he looks different. Oh, it's because it's not the same dude.
The rest of the story has just basically been trying to find a home for us.
I know that you are talking... Where's Liam gone?
Wait, what? He was literally just there. Not again.
We got an interview. Oh, come on.
Hey, we'll come back for that on Sunday.
What are the real expectations for your team this week?
We're one of those teams that it can all come together on the day, so I think we have a very high ceiling. I think on our day we could definitely get a top 3 for sure. I mean, it's LAN. LAN and online is so different. We haven't really been able to play on equal ping. On the EU ones, we played a lot better, and we've all got experience on LAN, so I think that's going to play in our favor.
You two in particular, what does this guy bring to your team?
I think the most important thing he brings to the team is kills.
He's usually our top fragger.
He's very good at breaking down a team, deciding strategically how we're going to do that, where we're going to get the opening knock, coordinating where we should be to break down a team.
Liam, you're not going to get away with just having your ego lifted here. I'm going to ask as well, what do your teammates bring to this trio?
So Len brings an extra set of eyes, but I don't mean that. I mean like his vision is great in the team. I get my trade as well. Sometimes if I get full kill, he'll get the 2-piece, even if I don't get a knock. Len's very good at that, and FIFA's good at leading us around the map, you know. I'll pick the fights and maybe coordinate the fights, but like wherever we fight, like what area we are, that's all on FIFA, and that obviously comes with a big part of his brain. I think he's one of the smartest players to ever grace the game, so I've got one of the best gunnies, one of the best brains with me, so that's what they bring.
So we've got one of the best slayers, one of the best supports, one of the best leaders, three great gentlemen of the space. I'm looking forward to watching you do something great this weekend, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that was Team FIFA Kill here at the World Series of Warzone Global Finals in Las Vegas.
All right, well done, Enigma, keeping Jukies in place. Reminiscent of their qualifiers, Jukies, I felt, was always away from the team trying to get eliminations. This time they come together. They're in third place. They're looking good. But the question is, who is going to win game number 2? Well, let's find out. Let's get game number 2 started. Spider Tiff goes. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Desk. I gotta say, that might be one of my favorite interview pieces I've ever seen. It happened on the map, but FIFA Kill was able to make it to top 3. A great start for a team that, frankly, I think a lot didn't expect a lot from. So it's good to see them near the top.
The only thing I don't like about shit like this is the talking.
It's
like
it's
meh, 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 meh.
You get 7 kills, you multiply it by 2, it's 14.
Get it
You're
over
not in the
with.
top 5. The Falcons are on top because they're kills.
Exactly, and I think double digits are a solid start because we did touch on that. The Desk talked about it earlier, those advanced starting points going into tomorrow when we have that race for 150, but we're just getting things kicked off. And honestly, to see FIFA Kill in that 3rd place, right? Because we're talking 2nd through 5th, you're going to get 30 points for tomorrow, and imagine what that's going to do for them if they can keep that momentum moving forward and keep a hold of Jukies. Now, that's something that happens in game in IRL too, apparently. They were walking around the casino floor the past couple days, and he like literally was feeding his arm through Lennon's like hoodie. He was like, please, you just have to keep a hold of me. Someone get that man a leash. Like, I'm talking a child backpack or something. Just hold him down.
Well, it was FIFA by himself at the end, right? And to the top 3, but the third party was the reason that they were able to get some extra points and be out on top. But again, we talk about the math. We talk about the multipliers. This is the key part of this competition. You've got to make it to in-game, but you got to make it to in-game with kills. So Revenge Tour definitely enacting revenge and up to their namesake, but yet again, not a lot of kills to go around. So again, 14 points. That's kind of our metric right now. And again, when you're trying to get the amount of points that you want for tomorrow, we're looking truthfully for top 5. That's where you're going to get a majority of your points. Win 40, top 5, 30. That's a great start to tomorrow.
Well, hear me out. The Revenge Tour, they kicked things off. They've shown us they can win, but now we need to see the eliminations to go through it. So let's get ourselves in that lane. We're looking down the barrel. We're getting into Urzikstan. Let it rip. We've got game number 2. Let's get into it.
Game 2.
The question is, will they stay at the top? You know how many days Urzikstan's been around? 283. You know how long the Falcons been at the top of Urzikstan? The whole time. Shifty has earned $500 every single day since the map dropped. It's unreal. This team is uncanny. They've earned $300,000 on this map alone. Are you kidding me? Somebody take him down. We'll see what happens. Take a look at the map. Take a look at Popov. Looks like we got a couple squads headed that way, including FIFA Kill.
Hey, look, I love when you want to get aggressive, but it's back to that contest that occurred at the start of map number 1. Turn your attention over here towards High Rise. Now, this resulted in a few trades back and forth, but they didn't have an actual, like, loss, right? Scummin kind of maintains that position, but they're ready to run it back. They're like, all right, cool. If you want to give us some elims, we will take them. And honestly, I'm just waiting for the angle. But he's got a PA in the back pocket, too, and I kind of like that already.
Look, this is one of the most hotly contested, but also highly anticipated drop spots of this entire tournament. There's been a lot of smack talk between the two.
One
and
down.
into the mix, getting cut down immediately by Scummin. This is looking a lot of the same of last map. Let's see if Scummin can continue up the reign of terror.
Oh, all right, that's 2 down.
Immediately, 1-2,
Good
bust
plays.
my shoe. Where's the
That's a
third?
white.
See you later.
That's a
Into
white.
the gulag vitality. Wow, what a start again for this squad on high rise.
That's a commanding victory in a contest if I've ever seen it. They didn't even get the fool on Dongy because you can see Unrational getting him back up on his feet, and that's 3 eliminations that they'll kick things off with. But back to Bazaar we go. It looks to see that Resolve may be the only one standing.
Yeah, history repeats itself in high rise, but this time in Bazaar, it's a little bit different. Panda in trouble, Resolve in trouble, and gonna lose this
Got
one.
one down. Ooh, he went for the full, but he didn't get it.
That is a loss for the side.
He went for the full, but he went for it.
One overall on that fight in Bazaar.
Can we talk about the preemptive of the shooting out of the zip so they can't go over there and just get on it? Regardless, they have
That actually is a smart play.
Bazaar for themselves, and considering where the circle may go, this is a nice spot to claim for yourself, especially that buy station, all the loot to go alongside it. You can see Resolve there taking that Gulag victory against Patsuka.
Yeah, all right, we're getting back into the mix, but you're not going to go back to Bazaar, that's for sure. See them flying around trying to figure out where to go. And while we watch this Vortex team, Reply Totem again is who they're representing. This is a really strong team, a team that absolutely obliterated the competition when somehow they were forced into position in the finals where they didn't really do what they wanted to do and then made it, and LZQs ripped everybody apart. So be curious to see if they can continue some momentum after a win in Bazaar. But to Destroy we go, and got a lot of fans of Destroy and a lot of fans of Aiden. The question is, which fans will be cheering here in a moment?
It's Aiden's team and Destroy's team.
I mean, look, if we want to talk stories, we want to talk
They're backing
longevity.
off,
It's that
though.
Aiden roster. Think
They're
back
gonna go
to
buy loadout.
2021 Verdansk NA Trios.
Nope,
Team
they're
Aiden
concentrating
takes
another
the
team.
win and does substantially well, but we want a return to form for them. And talk about that consistency that they've been bringing to the table throughout scrims at a lot of the tournaments leading up to World Series of Warzone. They have been just improving, and it's been so nice to see that. I think a land buff can really do them well.
Yeah, I do agree. I think that Aiden squad is one of the most highly anticipated teams of this tourney to potentially play for second. And well, as we're talking about them, they're wiping an entire squad and moving on their merry way. So we're going to continue to show some of these hot spots. And back to military we go again. Showstopper, a great third party before. This time a true 3v3, and definitely going to the side of this squad. Showstopper on your screen, a fantastic player.
Good shots,
putting on a show for
Showstopper.
us all the way through regional finals where they dominated their competition and looking to dominate this Blast team. See to the Gulag will go, and we'll see what they're able to do on the regain. This time, military base goes to the side of V8.
Oh, hear me out about this roster. Enigma was talking about them, especially the momentum they've carried off of EWC, bringing it in. This is a squad that has the potential to pop off on land, especially day number 1, acquiring that. And if you're going to absolutely steamroll through that squad, I mean, Gabe looked lost there, right? And just circling things up as we get here, seeing where those teams are coming in from. Look to that northeastern side of things.
There's a lot of people downtown right now.
That run straight into each other.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Then
people
look
everywhere.
Towards the northwest goes.
3 teams fighting over in Zarov, Zaravan City.
FIFA kill or Jukies,
That's
frankly.
Jukies. 100%
That's gotta be
Jukies on the
Jukies
bridge
by
by
himself right now, trying to catch up with his teams. But yeah, the Falcons obviously have a free pop-up. They're going to be rotating in, but the circle here is obviously denoting that we're going to be heading towards somewhat centrally located. I'm thinking likely Lowtown area. There is a circle that likes to end on that Lowtown area between that and Farms potentially. But here's Cloud9, one of the first looks at Cloud9 we've seen, and apparently on their back foot as Jukies has regained and rejoined his teammates.
Yeah, look, they are just making their way on over through
Joe
this
and
area.
Bread,
Look,
but I don't see Foreign Jace. I don't see Jace, so Jace. Oh, there he is.
We've got. I'm a little worried about Foreign Jace here on that high ground, which is nice. But if you peek for just a bit too long with the prowess of these weapons that we have, you can easily get 3, 2, 1. But you're already aware of
Bread
where
and
that
Joe are
lookout
moving up,
is,
trying to
and
move
Joe
over.
and Breadman are kind of able to fly free and look for those eliminations and close range engagements.
Yeah, and Cloud9, again, they've kind of changed up their drop spots based on scrims and tournaments they've been in. They used to land all the way over Seaport, and there's a chance they rotated over from that, but they had been landing kind of outposts and then rotating down to Central Zone, and that's where they're at right now, obviously. This Old Town, Low Town area is where everybody's going to try to be, so getting here early is nice. Getting some extra intel is fantastic. And got a bunker buster in pocket just in case somebody decides to push them.
When you think of macro strats, a lot of teams look for bunkers, they look for foresight, they look for all of the information that we can get. But the fact that we're ripping an intel contract right away from where Foreign Jace was on that roof, right? But they invest that bunker buster. They kind of cause a little bit of chaos over there so they can full send this. And that is just an exceptional way to approach it. Now that you have that next circle information, you can come up with that plan. And this is the most, okay, look, FIFA, can we get out of there? I'm so glad you're a better driver than me because this is a little ridiculous, but let's get on the move here because this is the most cohesive time I have ever seen
this roster was in, but now a different story.
Yeah, it's really easy to keep a player on a leash if you just stick him in the car and say, you got to stay with us. But to a team that has had some
protection in the back.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, yeah, lock the doors for him. He can't get out. To a team that's had actually a lot of roster changes here. Dizzy coming in as a sub for this event as their third wasn't able to make it in. Looking to find Clavson on the other side. Apparently not the first team out, but looking to maybe be the third if they get cut down here. Clavson, Gooey, FLS in trouble as Dizzy, their sub, comes in and finds his third elimination already here in the second zone. But here comes two. Dizzy
he got one of them.
Both, and unfortunately, doesn't look like Vita's there to clean up, which means we don't get a clean trade, which means it's a 2v2 for this fight. Luckily, catches one in transition. FLS did not hear the footsteps.
Yep, all gone.
FLS made that a little tough there, but
I say you weren't going to get away from that one, brother.
Get the buyback, and we can just keep on moving. Still 8 minutes into match number 2. Only 3 full squads have fallen, and I'm loving the regain that we are seeing. Subs, sometimes you got to have those super subs, but turn your attention back towards the academy area. We saw these squads kind of be a big mainstay towards that end game, especially this area of the map. But Jackal, Huskers, Brawling, where were they in match number 1? But finally getting to actually check in with him here.
Yeah, there's another big pickup on another team that has some roster changes. Vieira coming in as a sub for this squad, and unfortunately getting cut down, likely in transition. Little smoke and run, you never know. But with 3 people shooting at you and somebody that shoots it straight, it's Huskers. No chance, my friend. See you later. Huskers reaping the edge of map. And now we're going to move closer to center as we take a look at suburbs. But I'm getting word. Who's our first team out, Miles? We've got an award to hand out. Let's see who it is.
We do have an award to hand out. Noobs, what happened, baby? What happened?
Well, I had a few PC issues the last 2 games, but I think we got it sorted out now. It didn't help, but we got something in the works for the next map.
What have you got in work for the next map? Any sort of teasers you can give the fans?
I can't reveal anything just yet.
Not a single secret?
Nope.
My man, tight-lipped. I appreciate it. How are the guys feeling though? What's the mood like in the camp after game 2?
We were expecting a little bit better, but I think we can regroup for sure and try out for the rest.
We wish you the best luck, man, and indeed, hopefully this helps as a good luck token for you going into the next game. Thanks very much, mate. Back to the casters.
Thank you so much, Miles, and thank you, Noobs. And I do believe
I feel like this shit right here is corny as fuck. Like, that's not necessary. I don't know if they do that in Apex tournaments, but that shit's corny as fuck. I'm not a big fan of it.
2K, a very strong performance in the last one, and looking like a strong performance in this one yet again. Heli to rotate. They're going to make their way to zone and set up for new as we swing over to the other side. Opal Palace, again, several teams in the area, but right now, Savvy Ultra's team locking down one of the spots they believe that give them a bit of cover and a bit of reprieve to refuel back up.
No, I love that we're going to hit the double smoke and kind of get on out of there, especially when you've got other squads like Team Valor, like Omit NA in that nearby vicinity across the road. So invest that drone to go find some of your information and make sure, like, hey, we want a third party this. We don't want to have that occur to us. So as long as you can keep tabs on that, especially with Youngsta's Juju just being such insane firepower, it looks like they may already be a duo, but keep your eyes on this battle here. Destroy, Raul, they're on the high ground, looking down the barrel at FIFA, but you know what? They are all 3 together. This is a different story. We're talking about it, but if we rip Juki's out because it's wall bangable, I'm a little nervous for that one.
Yeah, this is such an interesting spot as well because it's a very easy position to third party, fourth party, or more. You see 4 teams on our mini-map. You can see Super Evan squad, a team that hasn't been in the limelight in a while, but really did a fantastic job during the regional finals. They won the very first map of the day and set the tone for what the pace would be in that regional finals. Have been a bit quiet in scrims and lead-up tournaments, but I'm excited to see what they can do here in Lowtown. Every team rotating this direction. You see Aiden off in the distance. They're not going to get a lot of value out of this, but maybe burn some resources. That Aiden squad is rotated over from Super. We saw Omit NA have another big rotation, probably on the back of Brax's IGL. They come from the northwestern side of the map. They've rotated all the way over to New. Everybody setting up for the end game. As some resources are in the sky, I'm sure everybody knows that there are several players around them.
Oh, and Juki's on the ground. The smoke and Lennon kind of disengaging from the area to look to hit that res, but I saw that he was using Resolute, which is quite a nice thing to just give you a
bit extra health and give you a little more time to get to safety. And where you find this squad at, they don't have the ability to extend on out to get that full if it's not occurring, especially when you've got to worry about what's coming your way. Thermites, right? Replace that C4. They're nimble, they're quick, they're 6 in a back pocket. And now, Nate Dogg, welcome to the interrogation, because, you know, our Apex squad, they want all of that info, and they're not afraid to chow.
Yeah, and this is where they land as well, at least supposedly, right? I think there was some conversations they might go contest pop-up. It's not looking like it's the case. They've been here since the beginning of the game. This is XMQ squad. There's been some Twitter chirping from some of the folks that follow the Apex scene. Like, no, this squad is really, really good. Watch them kind of make some waves in this talent pool and have a good day in day one. And we'll go from there. Right now,
1, 2,
looking pretty
3.
clean after a nice
There's a
cleanup.
lot
Here's
of
a look
people
at
in
that
Old
zone, by the
Town.
way.
They're
As
battling
expected,
over the
we are
fucking
in Lowtown and likely
center
in
circle,
Lowtown for
basically.
the rest of this game. Take a look at all the squads on the
Where's
edge of
Joe
zone.
and them?
Again, I want to pull out Omit EU, Red 1 at the bottom of the map. This is where they've dropped. They've been playing extremely slow in this tournament, just waiting and biding their time.
I don't even know where they are. I don't
Since
see
the
them.
very beginning of this one, now creeping into the edge of zone.
I don't even see them.
Several teams, though,
Maybe they
aligned
got
away, 'cause
knocked.
there's a lot of buildings in Lowtown. They just aren't very big, so expect some chaos
the
here
fuck
shortly.
was
You
that?
really have to, and they're already starting on that grind to make sure they can clear out one side of it. They've got the sight set onto Fluffy Aimers and a couple other squads on the horizon. And we're going for a massive wrap. Everyone knows they start off in pop-up power, but we rotate all the way in the north. We cut straight to the east and come on down.
That
This way
was-
to Bazaar and T, the only female on our Lansing. Hey, Soka.
Damn.
Give her a couple taps like that, man. What? Nah.
That was
toxic.
well-placed thermite. I call those
That
the
was a good- that was a very good
specials,
thermite,
all right? You just lace somebody with the thermite, knew exactly where they would be, where the buy station is. Nice play to clean up a squad and then move on the merry way. So back to some action we go on the side of Opera House. Again, Unrational and Scummin in the mix. On the other side, Almond with that Falcons Mina squad. Potentially last alive for his team, at least on the map. And maybe a couple well-placed thermites will root him out as we are hunting yet again the edge of zone for this.
They're
Scummin
bum
squad.
rushing you,
Big fan of
Almond.
Sky Nades. Love when they work, especially when you need a diversion to make your way all the way up the staircases. But they already know about it because Scumman's going to take the brunt force of that. We're still going on in for that
Nope,
challenge.
gone.
The timing
You're not gonna
of
get the
that
trade.
push
I mean, you got the trade,
impeccable.
basically.
Don't lose anyone to actually fully eliminate it. And this squad, we talk about them leading up to World Series of Warzone, a squad that has the potential to have some of the biggest pop-off games. I've seen them get a 1.8 or a 2x multiplier that net them in north of 70 points. You know what that would do to the entire scoreboard right now? But they're a slow burn. They usually don't
This is
going
gonna
to
be an insane end zone.
If they did that now, it changes the trajectory of our 6-game series.
I totally agree. And well, the Revenge Tour still in this one as well. They've holed up in a building. And right now, this is just everybody biding their time. Okay, they said we got where we wanted to be. If we can find a pick, somebody makes a mistake, we're going to take advantage of it. But until then, we're going to lie and wait.
This is gonna be an
and look for those
insane end
mistakes.
game.
You see DJ Moss, Z-Smith, they do have one of the higher buildings in this area, so they likely have the most information out of these squads. Team 36 being fully eliminated here. We have made it into
That's
some
actually an
semblance of a
OP
multiplier.
spot.
But again,
Stop the train on the
multipliers aren't
fucking
everything.
bridge.
You've got to
You can
find
see if
kills.
people
So
are
a team
coming
like
to
that
you, front or
Irrational
back.
squad is hunting edge of zone.
That's a
You're
good
likely gonna
play.
see a decent kill total. And there's Omit EU. How you doing out there? Scummin on 7, by the way. Thank you, production. Yeah, I think I was right. They are hunting the edge of the zone, and they are ready for multi-double-digit individual score tallies to put up one of those bangers you were talking about.
The question is, where is that next circle going to bring us towards? And if we have an isolated fight here, it's going to be nice because this squad can then clean this up, not have any real pressure from outside forces, and then can focus on kind of getting towards that high ground. Because we see Zakar just up there. If they look down on this while we're rotating on out and we're not careful, we easily get picked off, which will be my biggest worry for a squad like this as we continue further north.
A little bit further north we go and into Old Town. This is the southern side of Lowtown, rather. But look at where Scummin and Rational's team in the pink 20 way down on the bridge. They can actually drive that train all the way in. So I'll be curious to see what they do with it. Ahsoka, another well-placed thermite. And another elimination. FLS is going to fall here shortly. But Ahsoka is in trouble. He's got a little bit of backup. Just wants to make sure he plays his life correctly. So they play inside the building. They're going to force a zone off here on the portable buy station. FLS, Dewey, not sure what to do as Shifty comes in for free again. Somehow being gifted with another piece of cover playing around this portable buy. They're all 3 up and ready for this fight.
Well, this is the Falcon special, right? Anytime one of them gets ripped off, usually have enough cash to kind of keep them going back in. But Dewey, the first team out in match
goodbye.
number 1. But we have set a trap, and we are taking down the Falcons.
Falcons are down.
Falcons
Shifty's
fully
team is down.
eliminated, dropping early. I don't know how many eliminations they had, have a perfect day. Eliminated in somewhere around the 22nd mark. Not a ton of multipliers, folks. I think we're having a new leader at the end of this map, but only time will tell as the train comes chugging along. Says, hey, welcome to the party. Unrational Dongi's coming. Could be that team.
Hey, remember when I said I was worried about how that rotation was going to look for them? Okay, well, that's a little nonchalant, right? They're making their way on in, but getting on over. Savvy Ultras would pop out the window, trying to get buzzing, but Pretty's there to help him. That death ball of a team, and even the replay here. Shifty from behind. Gooey slides around, but we're not paying attention to what's occurring behind us. A power of friendship, power of teammates. You love to see.
Power of friendship. I like how they went there.
The Falcons just couldn't get out of that one in a fully eliminated. Here's another squad. Again, a lot of folks are down again, but they're here into the top 20. Juki's team, they've left him. Juki's go join your team, remember? But here comes David Samir. Viva Mexico, let's see what they're able to do. Picking up a couple in transition. That's a full team wipe yet again. The Slayer, Dark, a fantastic player leading this team in kills, but all three moving as a unit into the top 20, trying to make their way to new. Several teams in the area. That pink salmon color, number 9. That's going to be Super Evan. Watch out for that squad again. We're looking for a pop-off from the Wolf here. Potentially on edge of zone. They've still got to rotate in. And where do you go from here, especially with a couple teams in your way, especially that FIFA kill squad in the blue?
Well, I'm excited to see what they do. Mind you, that 4th place in the Global LAN Finals last year for World Series of Warzone out of Deus Samir. He had that interview earlier, was talking about how he wants to do it for his region, secure more spots, and prove that they are amazing and substantial. But as you kind of zoom on out, set the stages of where the position is, I actually love where that Team COD Unity squad is, but now Scummin getting ripped apart as we extend out just a bit too far outside. Do we have a mobile buy station nearby to be able to get them back when, quite frankly, we don't really have enough cash?
Yeah, and frankly, this team is playing with house money right now. I mean, they're on nearly 20 eliminations as a trio. They're in a fantastic spot.
That's really good.
They get from here
Yeah, they're having a solid game. 20 eliminations in this lobby is insane.
Top 10, watch out. In the kill feed, as things get chaotic, watch out for that Unrational team. They could have the biggest game of the day by a sizable margin. As Lennon, FIFA kill, in a bit of trouble here. And, well, they've lost Juki's because he didn't rotate with them. Navi on the other side. FIFA riding in the corner and hoping somebody makes a mistake.
I love how that thermite just sticks like 4 inches away from him, and he's just trying to hold on. FIFA elsewhere. Yikes. But Lennon and FIFA are both on 0 eliminations. This is a matter
there
of
they go.
They don't even have it, Limbs. These multipliers aren't going to do well. 3rd after map number 1, but fall a bit too early. 13 squads remaining, and keep your eyes on Navi.
Navi, welcome back to the party,
Buddy,
by the
you
way.
need
I'm
to
sure
stay.
it feels good
You need
to
to
play
stay
on
here.
LAN after playing from Australia.
Not a bike ride.
Some in
No, you
Canada
need to
leading
rest.
up to these regional finals, technically a North American team, but these folks
Don't
have
mind me
a long
taking
way
for
to
a
get
car
here
ride?
and now in trouble. PDS apparently
Well, that's
burns.
only if
They
you
have to
can
burn
take it for a
another
car.
one. Omit EU, we go. And while the Killers,
In fact,
the
I'll be right there.
Slayers of the Falcons still alive after a frustrating
back,
first map. Having a great one thus far. Clapson, FLS, and Gooey trying to make the top 10. Omit EU trying to do the same, and apparently going for the res here, not thinking anybody will look at him. Somehow getting it for free. Several teams falling in the kill feed. You see Aiden still in the mix, deep in the gas. Where's Scummin? Where's Dongi? They're finding eliminations off screen. A ton of eliminations falling, a ton of teams falling. We made it to the top 10. That COD Immunity team is getting paid, but Omit EU is trying to find their money. Where are the kills? Where are the players? Somehow all 3 alive and finally losing 1.
Enkyo, Gromalok over there, but look who's back. Scummin on Rational on 4, but we've got to take down this squad right here. Burn, baby, burn, but back inside we go, throwing down the bouncing betties. It's Scummin last standing, but here's what's going on. We are in that 1.8. We do not have fools. We bait the res, and we still have Dongi. If we can take 2 into the last, we might be okay.
All right, APAC, I see you. Into the top 5, looking for a sizable multiplier here. They have the 1.8. Scum and Dongi, the only thing they can do right now is win for the 2x multi. Going for new, and is able to make it with a hair, an iota of help. Into zone, into cover, and finally cut down by Omit EU. Dongi last alive on 10 eliminations. This is a massive game, and only 3 teams left. Dongi finds 1, gets 1 weak, cleans it up. How about 1 game? Finally cut down. Omit EU on top. It's APAC down below. X and Q only has 2. It's a 2v2. Omit EU could take it with the best position, but they've got to finish the job.
A 3v2. Welcome back, and now we just crest the hill. Start opening fire. The trades go on, but Enkyo, maybe one of the youngest players on our LAN stage, making his official debut and making it known here for match number 2.
Doing it for the French. Enkyo, welcome to LAN, my friend, and welcome to a map 2 victory. I see Enigma shaking his fist. He's excited about that one. Omit EU on top in the next game. Now remember, Tiff, I'm not putting a damper on this one. That was not a lot of kills from what I saw. And so 2 times 2 is 4. And I think it's a hair more than that. But all eyes on COD Community with an easy 30-plus point game.
Well, you just think about their consistency leading up through all the different stages of World Series of Warzone, right? They were capable of getting those second places, and I started to call to question. I was like, this is a team that is increasingly flexible, right? They will split drop depending on what that plane line looks like, whether they go up to Kotobo or they start from Manor. But when you start from Manor and that circle inevitably pulls to you, of course you're going to run that issue of maybe we weren't able to rotate through, find some fights, and get them those eliminations. Regardless, what they have shown us is they have the capability of netting themselves a win and thinking of what that's going to do for them, especially tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think the best part about this team is that they have the history of a very high placement. They've got a great multiplier across the board. Love to take a look back on what happened in that map, how they got there, because yes, they secured a great multiplier. I think they averaged like 1.7 multiplier throughout the course of the entire regional finals, but there was a long road to get there in this one, and frankly, apparently that medal from Miles paid off, because you see this FLX, they go out first in the first map.
I hate it when one nostril, one side of my nose is fucking stuffed up. I really hate it.
With Z-Smith picking up kills, setting up this team for success, almost was able to drop the team and finally get shot in the back and taken down, but getting top 5.
And I love that they get that buyback, right? Onto Scummin, and he like flies back in after the redeploy and repositions himself. The 1 pixel actually separating. It's unfortunate that Gromalok was already there to pretty much punish him for even trying to do anything towards them. So we do see 2 eliminations, a ton of damage, but then our APAC squad, XTH on the low ground, that last minute buyback for them. They reunite on the low, and it looked like they were going to be able to do a lot of damage towards that Omit EU roster, but this is where having all of your team alive in that end game just pays dividends.
Yeah, this is a tale as old as time itself. When you have player advantage in the in circle, if you have all 3 alive, you usually win.
Is he on Twitter?
Very well. Yeah, you gotta tweet out the clips.
Did you already tweet it?
Come on, Ikyo. I see you. Farm your tweets right
now.
now.
Don't leak the DMs though, bro. Don't leak the DMs.
Get your impressions up. A fantastic win from the young gun. Just recently turned 19, I believe. I believe the youngest player on this entire LAN. But we're gonna head to the stage here with Miles. Miles has got one of the players to talk to. I believe it's Gromalok.
We do indeed. Gromalok is here. Sir, firstly, congratulations. A very big win. How's the team feeling after that one? Breathe the fire out.
Yeah, we're feeling good on that one. It's definitely a good way to start the tourney. But yeah, job's not done. So gotta looking back after the games. And yeah, keep doing that shit.
Keep doing it. Well, you've got a few more games to play, obviously, but a good start, as you said. Now, you've got quite a young teammate. Can you tell us a little bit about him and how the nerves have been for the young man?
Yeah, Enko is just 19. It's his first LAN. As you can see, he's feeling pretty confident as a rookie. So yeah, he's one of the best in the game. So happy to play with him. I've been playing with him for years now. So yeah, very happy to share this with both of my teammates.
Oh, fantastic, man. How are you enjoying Vegas so far? Have you had any time to enjoy yourself? Are you walking around or just strictly on the game?
Yeah, Vegas is a dream. Like playing Call of Duty in Vegas, like chat dream clearly. We enjoying a lot. Yeah, enjoying a lot. Even if Enko is not 21, so he's struggling a bit, but it's okay. We have a good time here.
Fantastic, man. Well, once again, anything last moment you want to say anything to the French fans back home?
Sure. Merci à tous ceux qui nous soutiennent. Vive la France. Let's go, les gars. On est là pour montrer. Let's fucking go. And yeah, very happy to.
Merci. Bonne chance.
Merci.
Take care. All right, back to the desk. We've already said swear words. It's a family show.
All right, Miles, I appreciate you, Gromalok, out there. Big win coming out from Omit EU and a tremendous win from Inkyo, his first LAN. We discussed at the top of show, how would he perform? How would he be able to handle that pressure? Well, clearly
I'm gonna play a game in between games now.
So in stride, that final zone was highly competitive. In fact, going back to the very beginning, Dandra, Old Town, Low Town, it's always mixy and dicey when we see zones go there. That's where we started, and the teams, well, they started rotating early.
No, I love that you bring that up because Enigma made a really good point, right? When we kind of looked at that heat map, when you kind of see this zone formulate, all of these teams that are on that outer edge of the map, they see that it's going Low Town, Old Town, and they go, I do not want to be caught in the water. That's exactly what they want to do. So we saw a number of squads come together very early on, like 8 or 9 people just hanging out in Low Town. They grabbed their building and they said, if you want to try and take this space, You have to take it from us. We saw a number of teams kind of rotate on in, some bunker busters getting thrown down, but nobody wanted to hard commit just to throw their life.
You can't hard commit sometimes because it's just too dicey. And actually, speaking of dicey, let's talk about FLS because they were in some dicey moments.
Yeah, and we just saw right at the Opera House, there was a lot of engagements that was going on, and for FLS and his team, they were completely dismantled by West Esports, Nitox, Dizzy, and Vita, and we had saw the regain because at some point, right, those rotations going into Lowtown, we see Biffle, we see Hisoka, and right here, they get dismantled and get struck by a streak, but the regain from FLS, and to be able to take down the Falcons, you gotta give them some props.
Yeah, to knock them down from second place to 22nd from game 1 to game 2 is tremendous. FLS, shout out to you. But let's talk about the big dogs, Gio. Omit EU taking game number 2.
I mean, to be honest, I think that final circle was absolutely sublime because you had FLS, they actually had this building for cover, and Omit EU, they were out in the open. And it was funny, you know, you heard on the cast, they were like, don't get too cocky, and you backstage were like, no, do it, and that's exactly what they did. But I think it was actually...
I'm gonna mute that and bring up the game. I'm just gonna play some multiplayer in between games because I'm bored of this fucking shit between games. Because I'm still waiting on my aunt to let me know when she's on her way. This way, at least I can do something in between games because I'm bored of just listening to them.
Really feisty like that, and you know what? It worked.
He was feisty indeed, wasn't he? Omit EU taking game number 2.
Let's do it. Oh, you guys are different than my last lobby. I got skill based. Now I'm gonna lose. Fuck. That means you guys are good, huh? You guys are good? Oh no, Ken's still here. Ken's still here. Maybe I didn't get skill based.
I'm still here, man. What's that supposed to mean? Is that a dig? Is that a dig, buddy?
No.
Okay.
Just means it's the same lobby.
Just for the record, I joined in late. If you're looking at the 8 and 8 last game, right? I joined in late. That's my excuse.
I have a feeling.
In game number 2. Now there is one team though that's been making a big improvement throughout the qualifiers, and that's Community.
Yeah, I love that.
Sound good. You sound like a good player.
I'm gonna be honest.
You sound like a good player.
Yeah.
You sound like a good
What's
player.
like a player that sits in the corner with an LMG?
Maybe.
Might have a good poker face if not.
I'm gonna come. Free for all.
Go, boys.
Dude, is anyone still gonna have that on the soundboard? Jesus.
I can't do
No,
that.
I'm just really good at impressions.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Just a warning, I'm a camper in this game, guys. Just to clear the air.
That's fine. I'm gonna be gone for a while too whenever I go.
Oh, I just know there's always that one game that cries, so I just want to clear the air, you know?
Sorry, I've been waiting a week to go look at this bar.
Probably not the best choice.
I mean,
it is the best choice. No, it's the only choice.
No. Well, tonight?
No.
Tonight, you don't have to deal with it. I will. You can have all you time.
You gotta find my signature camping spot on this map.
I gotta mute these guys because I can't think. Okay.
Hostile Mosquito is online.
I didn't even see you. Did you see me? Oh, you did. Right here. Nice shots. Good shots. Good shots.
Hostile UAV in the area. Enemy UAV active.
What? It's in your room, I'm pretty sure, on the charger.
Copy. UAV is on station. Recon online.
Ghosted.
Be advised, UAV is
Didn't want to jump.
Hostiles launched a cruise missile.
Shots. Good shots. Oh. I was like, where?
Holds the lead. Clock's ticking.
Oh, so we're just literally camping in the building.
Enemy UAV active.
Damn, good shots. I can't win against the SMG.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Of course there is. Why do I keep jumping when I'm not pressing the jump? What is he using? LMG. I came from the other way. This guy's literally just sitting in the corner the whole time. People are gonna camp, and I guess I'll camp. Bye-bye. Oh, shotgun. Double shotguns.
1 minute remaining.
My bullets hit the wall. No, I couldn't fucking stem.
Hostile cluster mine detected. Hostile IMS active. 10 seconds remaining.
The guy literally is the biggest camper I've ever seen. Literally just sitting in the corner everywhere.
Mission failed. Return to base.
My God. Oh my God, we got a lot of them. Oh, well, I got almost all of them done in one try. Try to finish this STG up, and then I'll figure something else out to use.
All these people that got assassinated, it could have made a difference. Right? The leader is Black Panther Party.
I don't like either of those maps.
Hostile UAV in the area. Domination.
I spawned right next to a guy with a shotgun. Oh. Did I just... What did I just die to? Oh, I got shot by a fucking helicopter first thing. Nobody wants to shoot a helicopter. spawn, die. I don't give a shit. Fucking 3 people. Nope. Is there really a point in even being in this game at this point? This is an amazing game we're in right here. Get shit on. I ran out of bullets. Is that a bad guy? Wait. I thought I had reloaded already. Goodbye. Oh, you have a shotgun. You have small PP. Oh, I see you. I couldn't run. Live already. I got sniped in the side of the head because I spawned in the open. Perfect timing. I love spawning right in front of people. That's my favorite thing in the world, game. My favorite thing in the world is spawn right in front of people. Guy sitting in the fucking corner. I love spawning into fucking kill streaks. I literally just got shot by like 5 different locations. Okay, I'm out of that game. That was just complete and utter toxicity. And see, this is why I'm playing playing a couple games because they are still not in a game.
Oh no, I'm out. Fuck.
It's the same game? No, this is a new game.
I guess that's too far.
I couldn't aim fast enough. Top. How did he not die? Dude, why am I spawning in front of people? Dude,
that eagle's way too good.
why am I spawning directly in front of somebody? Game is so ass with its spawn points. It's like I'm literally spawning directly in front of somebody. How did my bullets not kill that guy in that amount of time? Because I literally put 5, 6 bullets in him. Dude, where are these people coming from? We're just sitting up top here. I'm gonna fucking camp this shit up here. Oh, you fucking saw me that easily? With a pistol? Wow.
Dude, this thing's reload time is absolutely dog shit.
How? How do my bullets not register on that guy? Oh, there's a guy right there. Oh, those are my teammates. This guy is pissing me off because he's just fucking sitting there like a fucking bad word that I can't say.
Oh my god, dude, I can't hit shots. Eagle again.
Missed my shots.
Hit marker a foot away. I like the other map better. It won't shoot!
How does he live from that? No matter what, you shouldn't live from 2. 1, I can understand. How did none of my bullets hit him? What the fuck is that shit? Oh, there's a guy behind me. Of course there is. Oh, there's another Overwatch elo. I get shot immediately. And of course, 3 headshots doesn't kill him. See, that's my favorite thing about this game is I die so quickly, but I get 3 headshots on somebody in a row, and it doesn't do jack shit. Shoot the fucking helicopter, teammates. Really fucking easy.
Securing objective Alpha.
Bullshit. And if I shoot you at all, you should not be able to snipe me.
Dude, every time I kill someone, I get shot in the ass.
It should not be possible to shoot me while I'm shooting you in the face. Fuck you.
Yeah, we have a lot.
I'm gonna sit right here. Because people are rats.
God damn it, I'm getting fucking spawn killed.
How did I not? How did he slide past me that much? I love it.
Dude, I can't even spawn right now.
Yeah, literally fucking ridiculous. Oh, the next game's up. Next game's up.
Where you want to go on the zone. You can glide for so long off the top of these buildings, and you're able to kind of chill out, wait to see where that zone goes, and then start rotating. Back on the other side of the map, though, we can see the Las Vegas Inferno. I know they're here in the building, looking to get loud for their team, and it seems like so far early on, they are trying to find some early success against Cloud9.
Cloud9 are going to be pushed into a difficult spot here because Joe will get separated and is spotted on the cross on ground loop for a moment, so it might not be punished. And there's also a lack of utility on this Las Vegas Inferno team, so still relatively 50-50. It's interesting, though, to see that Adrian has picked off Joe from elsewhere, so a third party comes on through, leaving Jason Breadman in a tough spot. And the thing is, they won't be aware necessarily of the fact that they're getting pinned in here.
Yeah, this is a really tough spot because you can see there's 4 different teams in this area. You got FaZe kind of lurking on the outside. We saw Adrian was able to pick up Joe. C9 kind of playing underneath Las Vegas Inferno here, and there's one more team lurking in the wings. Almighty TJ seemingly has seen Breadman go ahead and cross as he's trying to be able to maybe find one more pick. C9, a little bit of a scramble right now, losing Joe this early. I know it's been a little bit of a tough time for them, but being able to kind of come out on top here is huge.
Yeah, the one thing that might keep Jace alive, by the way, is that the Spanish XO Esports actually roll in through the back to pick up Babahoff. We see in the kill feed as well, by the way, that Vitality have gone out very, very early, definitely continuing their early game struggles. And this old town crossing in towards gas station here is going to be occupied by the XO Esports, trying to find a route in. Future gets picked on off by Loss. And we're also seeing Blastity's going out nice and early, so a couple of traded blows, just assessing the space you've managed to gain, the loot you can set yourself up with. You brought it up just moments ago. It can really help you picking up these early gunfights for multiple reasons, but one of them is it also lets you play late game positioning far more passively than some of these teams will have to if they fall early.
Well, let's come on over to one of my favorite teams, Aiden Z-Smith and DJ Moss, currently sitting in 4th on the leaderboard, kind of over here towards this Lowtown area. This team has been really sort of flexible in where they like to drop and where they like to rotate. But the number one thing you have to realize here is they love to play as a team, and they will just easily take these team fights, wipe a squad, continue on moving. It's like a weird, like, fast, slow pace, I like to say, because they're not afraid to get aggressive, but they don't really feel a lot of that pressure. Like, we have to win this team fight, and we have to keep on moving. They're so okay just being like, yeah, I don't really like this fight. Let's go ahead and move on out. And that's something we've seen a lot of top teams are really engaging in. Recognizing when they can get stuck in a fight. They don't have to be able to sit there. And I love that that's what this squad has been able to do. They've been on the up and up. They are here, already performing pretty well here through the first 2 maps.
Yeah, absolutely. And I truly think that Z-Smith, by the way, is an absolute star of a player that you have in North America. And we are seeing this fight execute again at Bazaar.
That was good. That was good shots. He almost got him.
Can squeeze up on this, finds one, and then gets shot in the back. Nearly spins, but Vortex will clean that on up. And that fight, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, has seen plenty of heat on the timeline. It looks like the Italians alongside Dropstaff come out on top here.
But if I know anything, it is that Panda keeps the momentum, keeps the energy high for that team. How many times have we seen these two teams kind of just land back on each other? I wonder sometimes for ego or whether for actual strategy. So we look towards our map. We see already still a pretty big center zone. Will not force many of our teams to have to kind of make these crazy rotations just yet. We're going to be waiting, of course, for those future zones to come on in to figure it on out.
Yeah, I think when you look at this kind of zone, you definitely want to be playing around intels. You definitely want to be figuring out which part of the island you need to be on. You don't want to be having to play across the water mass throughout the late stage rotation, just asking to get cut down. I mean, this to me stinks of a potential.
Joe's team is about to encounter Shifty in them.
You're having to try and make that crossing. You're asking for trouble if you do it late.
I absolutely love it. I love the call in the intel contract too. I think it's one of those contracts that maybe gets overlooked just a little bit, not entirely. Players know how useful it can be to be able to read those zones, but especially in a time like this where it's so central and you want to know, is this going to pull right? Is it going to pull left? Is it going to pull north, south? Whatever's going to do, get those intel contracts, get that early cash on up to be able to use it. Back on over to COD Munity, laying in wait, scumming. He sees this fight kind of brewing between Falcons meta. They're kind of just hanging on out. He has their sights on set. This could be really rough if Zeeks tries to push across, because Scumming, you got him in his sight, but get some shots on Almond there, so you know they're around here. And now this Falcons meta squad, they have to play patient.
Yeah, just gonna have to figure out a crossing here. They are up against the edge of the zone. Scumming will see that smoke come out and is wise to disengage, in my opinion. Clapper backing on off, and this is one of the teams I talked about coming into this. One of the lower performing squads in EMEA, but a team that do a lot of VOD reviews. So if you can figure out who you want to take your fights against, and I'm a little bit worried here that Rocket might not have spotted the team coming in behind. There's going to be brawling. Huskers, Jackal, but Rocket turns. Rocket finds a couple of shots in. Jackal will trade that on out, but Clapper is there for the support. It's currently a 1v1. Zakar against Jackal to see how this all goes on down.
Jackal, he's going to swing wide. He sees the self-revive coming up. The shots are there, but Rocket, you're able to get over the wall just in time. You do lose Clapper, though. It's going to put this into a 3v2. Zakar and Rocket, you have to go ahead and back off. I love the Jackal. You're trying to be able to watch this cross. The shots coming on through. Zakar's going to turn around, maybe get the shots back onto Brawlic and Huskers, but you're trying to hold this heady. If there's one thing I know, you got a couple of straight shooters on the other side, ready to rip you right on off it. Rocket's trying to make his way on over to the teammate. Maybe holds on out, but this is a sticky situation. They're looking to make the exit right now. I don't know if Exiles is going to let them do it.
No, I don't think so. Rocket is trying to squeeze, but you've run out of smokes at this point. You had a window of opportunity to escape. You've not necessarily taken it. Rocket gets a couple of bit more damage in, but Zakar is potentially surrounded here. But can he execute a flank? Can he get in around the back here? Well, he finds Brawlic, and that's a big down. That will open this up into a 2v2. It's whether or not Rocket's managed to stay alive elsewhere. He has, and suddenly the push from the Brawlic and co has really fallen apart. Rocket's going to play exit strategy, and I'm not sure if I agree with this. You're leaving a teammate out to dry, and honestly, the initial engagement, it was a case of Zakar was too far away to provide the support. That's why it all fell apart for this team.
Yeah, well, at first I was like, I don't know if I like this. Play with your teammate. You just got a knock. Play the 2v2, but look who's been able to move on in. It is Omit and A. They are here. We saw in game number 1, they kind of tried to do something similar, right? Over towards that Bazaar. They made this late rotation on in, tried to be able to take that fight. They unfortunately just basically get reverse slammed and get sent to the gulag immediately. Not letting the same thing happen on here. Hoping to maybe pick up some early fights, but I love what Huskers and Jackal have been able to do here. They've made this read that, hey, Omit and A's got to be around here somewhere. Let's go ahead, let's sit into the building, but let's check in with our Falcons, the team that we are all looking towards as well. They are over here at the place that we expect them to be, Pop Off Power.
Yeah, absolutely, but they are without shifting. We will need to bring in the buy. Of course, they are absolutely loaded. So much money in the pocket whenever they're available here at Popov. And the one thing is you're rotating back towards a squad here. Panda and Co, they might decide to third party this. Very aggressive team typically, so if they see this buy, that's a signal flare going up in the sky. It's whether or not they get squeezed up on. We're going to get a look back here at our zone, and yeah, that zone continues to squeeze on in towards the center. There's still plenty of water potentially splitting these islands, so for me, you've got to continue to get ahead of the curve and try and figure out what the end game is going to be.
Yeah, I like what these squads right in the middle are doing. This is what you want. If it pulls cargo, you're feeling pretty good. If it pulls kind of down towards the soccer field zone, potentially, you're looking pretty solid. If it stays on you towards Old Town, hey, you're sitting pretty. I love that to be able to have as we start seeing some absolute shenaniganry happening with our eliminations. As we're starting to see some people's already hit double digits.
Yeah, Echo hitting 10 is absolutely insane. I'll come back to that because it looks like all of a sudden the French are in trouble. But before that, I believe we've got an interview from Miles up on the stage with Face Black.
Thanks very much, team. Real quick, we're getting this from Fast Blast, not the man I thought I'd be speaking to. Game 3 didn't go your way, man. What happened?
So our normal hotspot or drop spot wasn't in zone, and we have a different spot, and we actually killed the top team in our spot, which was like noobs in them, and we killed them, and we get instantly third-partied by Almond's team because they had loadout, we didn't, and then we all just lost Gulag. I mean, Gulags are relatively more like 50-50-ish. Anything can really happen, and unfortunately, we lost all of ours. I mean, this happened to TB last year from Mazra. You know, Almond and them were probably the best team going to the tournament, and first game, they got dead last, and then they had a great run. I mean, I'm not too worried because this is just for points for tomorrow. So just getting the reps in, and hopefully we execute tomorrow.
Consummate professional and an absolute badass, bro. I've got to give you that. I'm so sorry. I know. Smile and wave at the camera. Back to the casters.
Hey, thank you, Miles. Necessarily not the things I want to hear out of Blast. They had a great game number 1, but an early exit here into game number 3. Saying game 1 doesn't really matter, or day 1 doesn't really matter, so we don't really care, but it's you actually do. But into the Gulag, look at this. Breadman, part of C9. He's the last player alive. This is a must-win against Fuzzin. Normally, you're feeling confident about this one, but it's land, ladies and gentlemen. Through the smoke, the hip fires are there with the SMG, but he can't manage to do it. Fuzzin wins at the gunfight and sends Cloud9 packing.
Yeah, Breadman's got to be devastated to lose that one. I think actually a close smoke typically benefits players at a mountain keyboard. I know that's a whole conversation, and I'm with you, right? Emphasis is quite strong, but in the close-up smoke fights, typically it's quite useful. Fuzzin goes absolutely massive here to turn and burn, and that will be Cloud9 out very early. It's been a quiet start to the tournament from them.
Yeah, I love this replay. Kind of seeing a little bit of the slow-mo. Fuzzin just kind of hits a nice little slide canceling. You mentioned aim assist kind of comes into it. Your mouse might not be able to flick the mouse that fast. Fuzzin with a fantastic Gulag. Hate to see them go, but hey, you got to respect game where it is. Falcons Mena, they're finding themselves just in a little bit of a slower pace already. Zix only with 1 elimination. Not looking too crazy. But I'm looking at that top right inning, and I'm seeing Team Community has overtaken Omit EU. Obviously finding some good success here in game number 3 as Almond, well, he has his eyes on a team that you highlighted at the top of the show.
Yeah, showstopper vision, AJ. This is a very strong squad in my opinion. There's another one coming on down. Prodigy's going to get
good shots, good shots.
Will punish him. It's whether or not his teammate can provide any support at all. And now goes the smoke, and actually it might give Prodigy an opportunity to get up. The Thermite actually connected with something, and Echo and Oki will continue to rain Hellfire down. Echo, Oki, Prodigy have a lot of kills right now, fixing that problem that I said that they have sometimes around passive games. It's whether or not you get caught in these kind of stages. You've got to stay up, and Prodigy.
I don't think you got a second
right
selfie
here.
now.
Through a little bit of a shoulder, sees the teammates of Prodigy up on that high ground, realizes I can't exactly push my way up here. I can't go too wide. They're looking down on it, but he just lays in wait. Prodigy, you're just kind of bleeding out, brother. Maybe saying, are we doing anything here? Or are we just going to kind of play for the regain? Don't worry about it. I love the high ground, though. This is one thing I've always loved about Echo, okay? They will land on this building every single game. It does not matter the zone. It does not matter the plane path. They will make their way to this building and make their decisions from there.
Well, all the conversation around having alternate strategies, I feel, is very valid, but there's also just intimately understanding the map and who you're going to be fighting, and that is how they like to play it on out. We move on over. Volcom, Resolve, they are trapped right now. Stuck truly between a rock and a hard place, and the door opens at the wrong time. Resolve's looking the wrong way. Volcom, Nines slips a couple plays in whether or not you can stay up. It's going to be the Frenchmen that are contesting them. It's Zach. It's going to be Eisen. And Zach finds Volcom, who overstays his welcome here. Now, can the French collapse in on this? Zach will try and clean it up. Eisen gets aggressive up the front. And actually, the mine comes on through. Drags Eisen down. And Zach does just enough to see off the LATAM team.
Bouncing Betty had me a little bit worried there for a second that we were about to see just a quick turn, but a great fight on the edge of zone. Back on over to Continuity, though. This is what we like to see. Unrational with a sniper in hand. We got word a couple people are going to be rocking this Morris, okay? I know we don't have one-shot snipers, but we do have a sniper that's the body shot is breaking plates. Pair that up, of course, with your teammates who just have absolute laser beam aim. You are going to be picking apart teams. Unrational, he's been a fantastic sniper all the way since back in Verdansk. I love that he's sort of leaning into this ability that he knows that he has.
I love this play, by the way, to just hit on underneath. I was a little bit worried that they were going to get plucked out of the sky or potentially just be immediately contested once they land. But head for the underground. That's the bunker tunnel. We get another look at this zone, and, well, I think my cargo prediction's out to the water. I think this is going to end up being more of like a Old Town, Sea-Town kind of vibe, and all the teams that are currently sitting center zone are going to be feeling very happy about that because, again, a lot of squads are going to be rotating late across water. They're going to be easy pickings if you're waiting.
That is the number one thing. You got to put yourself in these power positions to be able to watch some of these teams make their way across and try and, swim through. Now, we know how difficult it can be to kind of shoot through this water, so invest a couple of smokes. You're able to dive in and dive out of it. You might be able to make that cross, but this team so far, they're taking a little bit of a moment just to kind of reset. I think they maybe get an idea of what their game plan is. You've made it to this zone, great, but you try and hop up and play in the ruins, maybe catch people coming over from cargo, and kind of looking around to the rest of Lowtown. We'll have to wait and see. Still alive here, FIFA kill, Len and Jukies doing good. Len on 4, a not bad start to game number 3.
No, not at all, especially for the support player in all of this. He's the guy who's trying to glue these superstars together. Solid start so far in the However, you've got a difficult rotation from this point. There's so many teams in the area. It's also relatively open. Juki's going to pop the opening smoke in order to let him cross back towards his teammates. And look at them, nice and together. This is so much more about what we wanted to see between these three. They're able to support each other, play over the top of one another. That's the utility that's going to provide them the smokes they need. And they also have the LTV to rotate on out.
I mean, I kind of wanted to almost third party because you see this fight between Clavson and Vortex and them happening just nearby, but it looks like they are just going to use this LTV, get into the middle of zone, find themselves a spot that they can hold on out. But I don't know if you're going to get this for free. You've started making your way into a building. King Chalk and Nyson, you're upstairs. They have to be a little bit careful about just pushing on forward. This is how some of these teams can get taken out too early. You think you have this for free. Next thing you know, there's a team just laying in wait for you.
What I will say, Lennon on 4, Juki's on 3. Got to assume FIFA kill has 1 or 2, so pushing toward double digits here. We're only in zone 5, so plenty left to fight for. A good position here would lift them back up into this conversation that we've been having about how well they're doing. And just across the road, there's going to be C-Smith, Aiden, DJ Mash, just stuck between a rock and a hard place. And in the kill feed, by the way, the French are still a part of the conversation too. Super Evan and Empathy are going to try and get on over here. And this is what I'm talking about. These crossings are not easy. If someone's looking your way, they can just pluck you straight out of the sky with that STG.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a little bit of a confidence play to try and hit one of these zips to get into zone. And you have to know exactly where you're going when you do that. Because we've seen it time and time again where people, they hit the zip and they're kind of floating just for a hot sec. And next thing you know, yeah, you have a couple people that SCG starting to rip you out of the sky and you're getting deleted. So I'm glad that they're able to do that. They have found themselves a little bit of a home here. A lot of players finding their area that they want to hang out, that they want to try and hold out here. One of those squads we just saw was Aiden Seasman and DJ Moss. We saw that in the last game. They had moved forward to find their spacing, and now they're doing here as well. But the Falcons on the other side, they're going ahead to start fighting this team we saw at downtown. Prodigy, Oki, Echo, they're trying to make it happen, but unfortunately, it looks like maybe just a little bit of a third party came in. We can see Scummin actually picks up Echo.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. They step outside the building for a moment, and Scummin's going to see all of that coming up on the mini-map, all of that noise, and take advantage, just picking one up. And I do think that that is why the Falcons have stayed alive. And look at them try and make a very difficult crossing through open territory. Multiple smokes going out at the same time, so a little bit of a miscommunication there. You want to have as many of those for your crossings as you can possibly make. This is how they play. Very direct, very straight through the middle, hoping that no one sees them cross.
Coach said it for those first 2 games. I'm going to echo his same statement. For free! He's able to get there. And like you said, it's just a direct movement You're dropping the smokes. We call them backpack merchants, and this is why. They just are stacked up with these smokes in order to make the cross. They've made it to this building. They know somebody's in here. They're starting to go ahead and push on up. It's Teagues and Hossie. They're sitting on the roof. I mean, you get Biffle and Soka go ahead and push on through. They're going to be able to take them down, and it is just a clean wipe, and now they've gained the position.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what Hossie was trying to do there, but lands straight into the lap of the Falcons. And this zone continues to squeeze. 21 teams, across a small landmass, and everyone starting to bring out smokes to try and hit their rotations on board with the French, who have a lot to do. They're on the wrong side of the zone right now. They've got to find a way through. It's whether or not they can echo exactly what the Falcons just achieved. Gromelok's going to try and support from behind here as Heat and Enkyo send forward, and there's a vehicle available to play. I actually love this. You will make noise, but it was going to give you a relatively safer passage to next zone.
The smoke's getting infested. You can see the Falcons are trying to light them on up, but Omit and A, they found themselves right underneath their brethren. A potential inter-org fight about to brew on out, but this zone is just constricting these teams into the position. FIFA Kill, last alive bet left for his team. Only 2 eliminations. You'd love to see him be able to stay alive, trying to open up any of these crates, maybe get some more cash to be able to get the 2 teammates back on it.
Honestly, I just want him to lie down in a corner. You picked up quite a few kills. Play for that 1.6x. Get the multipliers in. Everyone else is going to be squabbling. You can just put yourselves off to the side, maybe third-party situation, get yourself a couple of bonus points. Some do it in groups to great effect. Just whether or not he can just stay up for now. The Falcons getting peppered from absolutely everywhere. The walls are thin round here, and the teams are trying to press for what is the power position that the Falcons hold right now. They should be able to look on out over and see a couple of teams rotating beneath them. It's just whether or not they can get a second as the mortar rains on down above them.
Yeah, this is the only problem when you make a play like this, right? Sure, you've been able to grab the power position. Everyone else is going to hear your shots coming from up above, though, and they're going to have their sights set on you to be able to kind of try and get that damage on in. So they have to be careful about being able to hop on up. Maybe, yes, you're able to find an elimination or two, but all it takes is just one team looking at you to shred you on out. But as we kind of get this nice little free cam look, I don't know if anyone else really has the angle to be able to get them. You got Gooey, FLS, and Clavson down below. They might be able to do something, but for now, they're happy with their spot. They can just go ahead and hang on out as well. They're still finding some eliminations. And Soka, he's found an elimination on the Heat.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say those 2 teams right on top of each other, and it's going to be the Falcons that open up on the French, which is going to send the French potentially into a bit of a rotation away, and there's not much ground in order to back off into. They go into the gas. You end up with Biffle picking up Enkyo. Heat then loses as well against FLS, and all of a sudden the French are in a lot of trouble. Gromelok the last to try and stay alive. The Falcons, though, continuing to just press the equation from this power position. They will have to look on out over everyone else. And for me, the best part of this zone, Gromelok, he's out of here. Omi EU, they will be sat in second, but this is a relatively early elimination.
Yeah, we still have many squads to go here. We're looking for that top 5 for the 1.8 times multiplier. Only at the 1.6 right now, so everybody just trying to lay in wait, trying to make it to that top 5. You can tell the boys are locked on in, using everything they can, and I love this. You smoke it on out. You try and move on forward. Soka, he's going to be the first one to make the move, but it's A-okay. They're all right with this. You're able to get the self-revive, and well, now you have the other high ground. Nobody else is contesting this right now. They can just look down below at all of these players, but it's just basically a layer cake that's happening here. Community has been eliminated by FLS. And Shifty towards the sky. Robstar, he's able to come on in on top of the bathhouse. He knows he's here. Not able to find that elimination, though.
Yeah, this could well be one of those games where suddenly the Falcons just come online, and what a throw that is. FLS going to be absolutely cooked by the thermite. He's out of here. Shifty onto 5. Clavson will be just down below, and as the rest of the team squeeze into the bathhouse, the Falcons obviously hold the best position. They're able to look in from the windows and pick off anyone here. The one thing for them right now, they're kind of stuck between whether or not they get aggressive and try and get as many kills as possible, or they just simply play for that 2 times multiplier. But we are into top 5. It is only the victory that will give you an extra benefit here. Interesting to see that the French have a full 3 for this fight.
Yeah, you love to be able to see them.
I'll be back in a bit, guys.
Getting shots into Robstar, still up above. This kind of looked like a slow game across the board for everyone, okay? And so the fact that they are able to still make it this deep with a solid amount of eliminations is crucial. They find Robstar, so that's going to stop them. They don't have to look above them anymore, right? All they have to do is focus on these teams below them. 4 teams remaining, and well, you got a couple there, but it's Nate Dogg on the inside alongside Destroy, trying to make this fight happen on out. The hipfires come on through. You're able to find Knight, a King Chuck. You get the trades on it. Destroy is there, Going for the res on the Nate Dogg. King Chalk, he got the self-revive. It's not going to be allowed to happen because look who's already there to play spoiler.
They are indeed. Zach7 will pick up the remainder, but it is a 1v3. The Falcons holding the high ground, waiting for their opponent to step on out, playing with their food. They will get aggressive, they will clean it up, and the Falcons take map 3 here at the World Series Warzone Global Final in Las Vegas. We talked about a slow start, we talked about whether or not they could come online. It felt like we were simply delaying the inevitable, and there we go, ladies and gentlemen, a prophecy fulfilled here in map 3.
No, this is exactly the type of game you like to see out of them. It is no surprise to see them maybe take a game or two, read the lobby, feel how they're going to go ahead and play. Now, I don't want to even say slow start because they were still fighting eliminations. They were still doing pretty good, but this is what you like to see. You like to see them to be able to kind of work together to figure out, even in these slower sort of matches, yes, maybe it's not the 25 kill win that we've come to expect from them, but what it is, it's the momentum starter, and we're only after 3 games in. We got 3 games left here today, plus our solo YOLO. I would not be surprised, though, to see this to be the match to start the fire.
Well, we saw this on Tuesday, right? The last bit of practice that they got before we flew out to Vegas, and they got to a very slow couple of games initially, and then once they got that 1 victory, they went and had 3 back-to-back. So it's whether or not we're going to get a repeating of this going on. It starts to become very concerning for anyone else in the lobby when you see that the Falcons have come out on top.
Yeah, I gotta imagine that zone really kind of caused a lot of chaos from them too. I loved that end game sort of play that they had though, where we saw somebody make the first cross, and yes, while you do get laser beamed out of the sky, he goes down. The teammates are able to follow it up. You get the self-revive, and really at that point, they just have to worry about Robstar, who lands above them. And once they take out Robstar, it's like, all right, we literally only have to worry about everyone that's below us. And then I think they were fully ready to go for a heal off there against Zach. Thankfully, that's not exactly what has to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that with the Falcons there as well, it's not a surprise to see them take multiple high grounds throughout the power positions, of course. We're going to get a quick look here at our last stand, and, well, Romalog took himself away in the corner. It was a tough map for me. They could have quite a bit of kills, but not getting the placement that they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, here's that play I was talking about. You can see while this flurry of chaos is happening down below, it just allows them to move on over. Shifty gets this excellent pick onto FLS, and you got to imagine that was sort of the unraveling of Clemson and Co. They tried to stay alive, and this was a great fight, by the way. Nate Dogg going up against the French here. Tries to be able to find one. It's a little bit of like a third-party central. You got these 3 teams trying to battle it out. Nida tries to stay alive. King Chalk makes the trade, but it's ultimately the French at the end who comes in at the last final moment, cleans it on up to put them into second.
Yeah, what is interesting about that whole fight is that the Falcons looking over the top and then putting bullets into the French triggered that entire occasion. So it was them just trying to dwindle down the lobby, bleed it on out so that they could just take the 2 times multiplier. And yeah, again, they put in the bullets from above and managed to set off everyone else squeezing into the same room to be cleaned on up. And once they see the amount of players in the lobby just dwindle down, they're aware that they're the only full 3 left in that fight. They can just push on up.
They can just do whatever they want. But hey, guess what? It's something we've kind of been waiting for all day. No surprise to see them take game number 3. Let's head over to the stage so that way Miles can have an interview with the man himself, Biffle.
Thank you very much, boys. The prophecy fulfilled. Congrats on the big win. Points are still good. The standings have been all right. You finally got the win. How's the king feeling?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're just trying to find our feelings still. Obviously on LAN, people are playing for $1 million, so it's definitely playing out a little slower compared to like the online tourneys and stuff. But yeah, we're still trying to find our footing. Obviously, we got that win with like 13 some kills. So yeah, I mean, we're still trying to work it out.
Speaking of working it out, you don't have that many games to work it out. I mean, how do you do that in matches? You know, obviously one of the best players in the world, but what advice would you give to folks at home trying to find themselves in a similar position?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, our team, we're one of the best 3 trios in the game. So all the other teams, you know, they suck. So we're still trying to get it worked out. But yeah, I mean, it's honestly just taking it slow. Trying to breathe in between games. I know Soka's telling us to breathe, you know, keep calm and all that stuff. So yeah, honestly, keeping it calm. And yeah.
Dude, Rowan, thank you very much for that. Any final words you want to say to the fans? You've obviously got a lot of folks in attendance, a lot of love for Team Falcons, what you guys are doing. What would you like to say to them?
Yeah, man, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys for showing all the love. We hear you guys. Trust me. We hear you guys through the headsets. Keep it going. I love you guys.
Thanks, man. Good luck on the next one. Over to the desk.
All right, Miles, thank you for that. Biffle saying all the other teams suck. That's that confidence Falcons have, man. And I was saying at the top of the show, Repos, like Falcons, they all individually have the most confidence out of any esports player I've seen in quite some time. Talk to me about that confidence and their unwavering faith to consistently win.
Yeah, man. Look, they are, without a shadow of a doubt, the 3 best players in their respective positions, right? So when you have that confidence and when you're winning 30 out of the last 34 tournaments, I don't know how you can't have confidence. So I don't know, man. Those guys just built Diffie.
Built Diffie indeed. That's a tremendous win. We go through our replays and we start seeing Falcons and how they really start setting themselves up for success. And Tiff, I actually was overhearing you. You were saying, like, look, zone number 6, Falcons are rotating in for free, and you literally called the game with 21 teams left.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that rotation in, I was like, they're winning from this position. They rotate in, they take that initial team down, which is XTH, which is from our APAC region. And it's hilarious because, you know, Shifty yesterday on the pulse check was saying that XTH potentially wanted to contest them over at Pop-Off Power. They're seated right next to each other. And I wouldn't be shocked if after that, Shifty was probably like, oh yeah, guy, like, what up? I told you I was coming for you. But the moment they take them down, there's only a few threats in the area. And it's a mid-EU, right, that tries to lay siege to that building, recognizing the power of that position, because high ground is great. And like I said earlier, if you take it a bit too early, it can be risky. In that case, it was XTH. And Falcons, well, they're the boon of that. They talk about that double-digit eliminations, and here's where they take it. This is where XTH loses in. Omit EU, they try to go in from that bottom. We invest the bunker buster to try and throw a bit chaotic moments into it, but they just cannot get things done. The Falcons are one of the scariest, most consistent fighting teams, and if anyone can do it, it would be that Omit EU.
Talk about a little bit of revenge here. FLS down below getting taken out by the Falcons, right? That team's been dominating, though. They've really come back after a frustrating start. But a crazy another stat, that Zac team had a ton of kills. Also, that's the team that lands closest to the Falcons up at Pop-Off at that gas station, Hector.
Yeah, look, the biggest thing that these guys do that not a lot of teams do, we've been watching so many POVs, so many scrims. Falcons, they always play for the win condition. A place where they think the end zone is going to end. That one right there, that one gunfight, won them that game against FLS and them.
FLS been tearing it up, and actually they were a team that took down Falcons a little bit earlier in the day. This time around, though, like you said, the revenge comes through, and Falcons take their victory for the first time today, just short, right, in game number 1, number 2. They placed number 2, but they should be on top after that one. They're looking pretty incredible, and also another region in general that's looking pretty good is EMEA. I think they're exceeding all expectations.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this, the EMEA in general. Last year was a little bit fishy, I'm not going to lie, but this year, I know Enigma is going to be so happy to hear this. I think EMEA came to play this year, and they're actually significantly better than last year.
I think so. I mean, come on. They're tearing it up. Ghost, you heard him say it. I mean, got to be happy with the result.
No, absolutely. If you're an EMEA fan, you're loving what's happening right now. You've got several teams inside the top 5 likely, definitely a lot of teams inside the top 10. You've got some teams that, frankly, you didn't expect to perform fantastic up near the top 10 as well. We've been talking about FLS. They did the exact same thing they did in the regional finals. They started off horrible. First map completely chalked. Guess what they did in the regional finals? They were top 10 every single game after that, right? And now they're doing it again. They get 6th place in that one, barely missing out on some multipliers. Watch out for that FLS squad. They could squeak into the top 10 and walk away with a sizable amount of points for tomorrow.
And not to mention Community has also been an incredible team too.
Oh my God, finally. Look, leading up to all these tournaments, going into the World Series of Warzone, I have seen the Falcons fall, and it was towards this team Community. Back then, they were competing as USD on Rational Scum and Dongy, but talk about it this way. Not only that, they pick up Tommy to coach them for the Global LAN Finals, someone that has such a historic in the competitive Warzone scene. So adding that into the mix, we can already see the changes. I called them a slow burn in game number 2, and they usually pop off in games 3 and 4. We've started early in a 6-game series, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're still at the top of the leaderboard, because I think I saw Dongy with like 20 eliminations. He's at the top. He's got a gunny.
Hey, talk to me, Hector. I want to hear your perspective on this team, because these guys are slayers, but when it doesn't work, man, they're trash. And I think it's that win off the drop spot, right? That high-rise win has been setting them up for success.
For the last 2 to 3 months, they've been, or a month, they've been losing their drop spot against Stuo, Enxian, and Patsuka. Today, they're winning them all. That team, I'm telling you right now, they have the world record for the most kills in a custom game. They have the slay power, but they just need, sometimes they need a click. They need that team chem. But when they do, I've said this before, we've talked about it in the podcast, they can shoot.
Oh, yeah.
Has there been a team, though, that you've been watching that has underperformed for where you expected them to be after 3 games?
Oh, man, I ran down here as soon as that one ended, but I think Brett and them, I expected Brett and them to do a little bit better. I know that they said that when it came to the actual LAN, it was going to play a little bit slower, and it has, but I do think that that that's a team that I expected to always be in the top 10 no matter what, top 15. I don't know where they're sitting at right now, but I know they died early the last couple games. So
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning too, we see Cloud9 change their drop spot for land, right? They actually land over by Old Town. They're running into likely FaZe first. They obviously ran into Destroy, and Destroy came out on top of that as well. You see Destroy in the final 5 there as well, also in the same area. So that Old Town, Low Town start has been pretty dang hot, and Cloud9's not getting paid for that.
Well, speaking of landing spots, let's actually look at a heat map of all the landing spots throughout the 3 games, and clearly there's a lot of hot spots there. Tip, walk me through these landing spots and what we've been seeing and what makes sense from this picture.
Yeah, as you can see, if you look down towards the southwestern side of things, that main building in Zaravan City, and even a little bit of Quadri Shopping Center, those are some of the areas where the large majority of our squads are landing. And as they rotate on out, the majority of the times we're going to be hitting kind of that C-Town, Old Town. So of course you're going to have a large majority of fights there, especially with our last circle in match number 3 ending in that area. So all of the action there, specifically when you think about the high ground, is like, just think of all the damage that you acquire through that, because it's like, dude, I could shoot for days towards the high ground and I'm just farming, and you gotta go through it.
Yeah, I mean, look, that place, I love that the end game last one was there.
Yes.
I called it literally second zone. I was like, this end zone is going to be here, and it's going to be crazy. That might have been, I don't know, I could be wrong, the most players we've had in the end game in a while. So
you're right.
That was great to see.
Hey, Repulse, it's been great having you up here, picking your brain, man. And obviously, you got a lot of passion for the scene. I love your watch parties. You're going to continue to do them not only for today, but also for tomorrow, and then, well, for, I guess, all eternity at this point. We don't want to let you go, man. One might be retiring, but you better not, dude. Is there anything you want to say to the crowd before, well, you get out of here?
Yeah, to the crowd, thank you guys so much for being here. I know each and every one of y'all just know I love you guys, and the goal is just push the competitive scene forward. So every single one of y'all sitting here, just know you guys make a difference, and I love you, and the whole competitors love you.
Hey,
thank you guys.
And we love you too, man. Thank you so much for coming up here. We really appreciate it. And for all of you out there, CT Red, they've been grinding. We heard the passion earlier today from Amir. Let's hear a little bit more.
I am here with Deus Amir from CT Red. My man, it is great to see you. I got a question for you, though. You got to talk to me about the qualifiers for LATAM North. It was a crazy journey through that qualifier. Talk me through those final moments that got you into this space here.
We had to go crazy to qual, and it was magic. It was total magic. I don't know, we've been in tough situations before. I'm very proud to say that in most of them we've been successful to come back from them. But yeah, I love my team.
A final question for me is mostly just about resiliency, your team, and what representing your region is like.
I keep competing because I love it. I'm really passionate about it. When I started playing Call of Duty, I was like 13, and I was just playing, like, trying to be like my heroes, Scampy, formal on them. So for me to be here today, like, about to play in a huge stage in front of a lot of people and representing my region, it's a dream come true. So
one of my favorite things about your team is consistency, but also your passion. Look, I'm gonna poke at the bear a little bit. I've got a chance to do some blind rankings with you, okay? So all you're gonna do is you're just gonna rank these players I name 1 through 5, and you don't know the rest of the players. So you just place them wherever you think, and we'll see how it goes.
All right.
This will be a clip for the timeline for sure. Somebody's gonna get mad about this. I'm gonna start with a fun one. We're gonna start with Sage. Ooh. You can place them 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5th in our blind ranking. You don't know the other players though.
I'll put them number 3.
Number 3, right in the middle. Okay, respectable. Sage, a good player, obviously. Okay, next up, Enkyo.
Ooh, I would say 2.
2, right above Sage.
Yeah.
Yeah, young player. I know, you know, they're on the other side of the map from you guys, but they will rotate over there, and you guys fight them a lot.
Very good.
Okay, FIFA kill.
Ooh, my boy Fiv. I don't know. I guess this hasn't been his year, but I think he's a great player. I'll put him forward because this has not been like his best year competing, but I think he is like S tier. He just gotta put his shit together.
Next up is Deus Amir.
Ooh.
You got 1st or 5th?
All right. I'm putting myself 1st.
Okay, look, give me a shout about yourself. Why are you guys gonna win it all?
Yeah, I mean, we've been sticking together. We're really passionate, and I don't know. You'll see. You'll see tomorrow. You'll see tomorrow.
Okay, final player. We know where they're going to go.
What?
Shifty.
Ooh, my bad, brother. I'll put you 5.
Shifty, the worst play on our list. That was blind rankings with Deus Samir. Shifty's not winning it. It's Deus Samir and CT Red. Deus Samir, thanks so much for coming in, man. I'm so excited to see you all perform tomorrow and the next day.
Thank you, brother.
Cheers.
Yo, give more spots to LATAM North.
You heard it here first, or probably not first. You've heard it a lot. I agree. Check out LATAM North.
Always great to hear from Amir there. CT Red, right? Still tearing it up today, trying to do their absolute best. And, well, we'll continue to see how they'll finish out. That's 3 games down. We are now at our halfway point. 3 more games to go to decide the opening points leading into match point, day number 2 tomorrow. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Dream Crazy Gio, and, of course, Danjo down there. Danjo, how did it feel to cast for the first time at the World Series of Warzone?
Felt good, man. Felt real good. I've been a lot of casting this year alongside my man Enigma. So
That's right.
Great to be here. Give some hype, of course, to Las Vegas here on day number 1. And most importantly, have a great game to be able to cast over. I know it did slow down a little bit, but I think it was fantastic to still watch everybody. I think finally take the game a little bit seriously, realize that you're bottom of the leaderboard and you got to do something different already.
Really? Oh, wait,
By the way,
there is $1 million on the line.
I think there is $1 million. I actually got a case of cash right here I'm going to show off. Again, can I keep that? I don't know, but that's where the $1 million sit. Hope nobody charges me for that. By the way, Falcons win their first game of the day when you cast. I just want to point that out. So
remember, okay, so no jinx though. Last year, I right after they won, I went up to Shifty, Biffle, and Sage and dapped them up. And at EWC, Shifty was like, "Yo, after I win, I want you right there,
okay?
Because I want to be able to go look you." So maybe just a little bit of a premonition to what can happen here.
All right, well, from premonition, now going to the past, let's talk about how the first 3 games have unfolded. They've been absolutely blistering fast, and if you haven't been paying attention, well, you might not have been able to keep up. Game number 1, we started hot and heavy. We were expecting a bit of a slower start, but Dream, it was lightning fast. Nobody was slowing down. All gas, no brakes.
Yeah, indeed, all gas, no brakes. And I mean, a lot of aggression, but we almost saw, in fact, our team Falcons take a win, right? Shifty was left in that 1v2 situation, but it was B-Mark, essentially the underdogs that were able to take it here, revenge tour, and that was an impressive win.
It was B-Mark, J-Tech slide. They take game number 1. I mean, we weren't expecting them to do so, but Danjo, they made it happen, and that was probably the biggest surprise of the day.
No, it was the biggest surprise, but it does also tell the tale of the rest of the day because, yeah, you win game number 1. I love it. It does a lot for the players, but you win game number 1 with 7 eliminations, and they were in like 8th after that first kind of game. So it's like, yes, it's great. I love that, but you have to have those eliminations if you are going to be taking on games. It's still a great start to the day, though.
And Gio, game number 2, Omit EU, they come out, man, absolutely frying. They had the ego, but the ego paid off.
Yeah, I mean, is it too on the nose to say it was all guns blazing?
There you go.
Like, that's
very,
what it was. Very literal, right? But it's exactly what happened. And I actually want to touch on something that you just said, where you were like, you know, you win the first one with 7 elims, and like you're still kind of coming out at 8th after that. But that was something that we saw after drop number 2 as well, because we had teams like Team FIFA Kill and like Falcons who did really well in that first drop, and not so hot in the second, and then that's where they were placed after that. So still, even if you come out like really hot at the start, you've still got to keep that up, which obviously we saw in game number 3.
Yes, that's right. And game number 3, Team Falcons, they end up taking the victory.
Yeah, and one really quick shout I just wanted to say, Enkyo being that top slayer, even being that young gun player, land first time, that pressure, that's amazing. But Falcons, we talk about pressure. The one thing I was going to say, because obviously, you know, we were in the green room, I was like, look, if they win this game, I don't know, that momentum, they could just carry it further, because with Falcons, they just need time to figure out how everybirdie's playing, and you guys heard it. Biffle said, everyone kind of slowed down from game 1 and 2.
It seems like they did, and he also said, well, all the other teams suck, so he's got that confidence. I'm going to continue to say that because, hey, there's not a lot of players that can get away with saying that. He's one of those players that can say that and be like, okay, well, facts. All right, let's take a look at our standings and see who is at the top. Well, Falcons take over first. They will not.
I gotta head out. Gotta go scope out a bike for my son, so I'll probably be back on later on because I'm probably gonna play some games later. So, all right, guys, peace. Love you guys.
They're getting the elims and they maintain first place.
No, this is what I love to see from this team. You want to be consistent. You want to play game over game. And like I said,